Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hello, welcome back to the show. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ryan from the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 162. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Great to see everybody today on this Tuesday. I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers on this Tuesday, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Good morning to you. Lots of things went down over the weekend. Lots of things didn't go down over the weekend as we suspected as well, but expected. I'm sorry. We'll get into that so much. A lot of stuff to talk about today as this is schedule week. The NFL schedule will be released Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. So if you're excited about this like I am, it'll be Thursday night, 8 o'clock. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the NFL schedule will be released. You're going to see a lot of leaked games between now and then. I think they've already leaked the Thanksgiving, one of the Thanksgiving games, another game here. None of them were with our Steelers, but you will see leaked games throughout the week as we get closer to Thursday, just only 2 days away. So that will be here before you know it. The schedule for the NFL released Thursday night. I'm excited. As a matter of fact, we're going to do something a little fun today. But we'll do that here in a little bit. I do want to say good morning, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Michael, how are you, man?
I am good. I am happy to be back, man. I'm ready to do this. Like you said, man, a lot went down this weekend. A lot to get into and dissect with our Pittsburgh Steelers.
There really is, Mike. But before we get into that, did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a really good, nice, relaxing weekend. So it was nice.
From what I understand, you went away to see a friend.
I did. I stayed up, buddy. We got to catch up with life and family and all that fun stuff, and had some good drinks.
Is this a guy friend?
Yeah.
You stayed at his house?
Well, yeah, because I was drinking. Stayed on the futon. Yeah. I don't think the wife would like he and I cuddling together.
And did you ask her?
I did, and she said no.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was afraid I would break the bed.
So there you go. Mike spent a weekend sleeping with a guy all weekend.
It was one evening.
All right, one weekend, all one day. Is there a difference? Is there a difference when you're cuddling with a man? I'll never know. But
Hey.
Mike, there you go, cuddling over the weekend, ready to go. A lot of stuff to get into today, as Mike was saying, guys. A lot. I do want to say, good day to you. A few things before we do get started. Listen. I sometimes candidly say I hate white people, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why I hate white people right now. You ready for this?
Yeah.
White people totally let cornbread slip. I'm going to be honest with you.
All the ways that setup could have gone.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that left hook.
Well, here's the thing about, cornbread. It's awesome. Who doesn't like cornbread? And over time, white people just kind of forgot about cornbread. I know black people didn't forget about cornbread. I know the southern people didn't forget about cornbread, but I do know that just the average white person, like, they forgot about cornbread entirely. And that makes me sad because I love cornbread. I had some over the weekend and I thought to myself, why haven't I had this for oh, that's right. White people just don't make cornbread anymore. And now that's one of the reasons. So if you're keeping track, write down on your list, Mike, write down on your list for the reasons I hate everything. I hate white people because they are so haphazard when it comes to cornbread. So this is another reason, Mike, there you go.
I'm putting it down now. Cornbread.
I hear you pecking away over there putting it in.
Cornbread is put into the list. It's up there with Cody.
Yeah.
As our mortal enemy, or at least my mortal enemy.
I just love with the chunks of corn in it. And
it's so good.
That's what I'm saying. Of all the dumb things that the white people put on the table when it comes time for dinner, when it comes to sides and things like this, beets. White people put beets on the table before cornbread. This is what I'm saying.
See, I don't know. I'm glad, like, my mother, she still, to this day, makes cornbread.
Well, you are a big corn-fed mule. Look at you.
I mean, look at this handsome, sexy devilry.
You can't be a mule. Your ears are too long. Look at you. Let's get to the board. Good afternoon to you today, everybody. Great to see you on this Tuesday afternoon. Mike, I think there could be no better time for this, of course, than right now.
I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
Always equal opportunity here, baby. Titty Tuesday, don't you forget it. Back to the show. This is the Two Dum Yinzers, episode 962, guys. Just 38 short shows away from the big 1,000. Again, as we said the other day, Mike, that puts us in the top 1 percentile amongst podcasters, if you could believe it. We're just going to keep going and going and going and going, probably till I die. So however this plays out, we're shooting for the stars, guys. We do appreciate everybody that's been here and is along with us for the ride. So much more to go, closing in on 1,000 here in just a couple months. Couldn't be more excited, but let's get on the terrible board today. Great to see everybody. Good afternoon. How you doing? Hey, forget about it. Let's go right here to Tortilla, my man, all the way from Sacramento, California. He says, yo, that's right, baby. What's up, Big Tortilla? Always great to see you on the terrible board, my man. Corey, don't drink that, says, what's up, fellas? What's up, big dog? Great to see Corey. Tortilla says, today is a good day. I got out of jury duty. I'm happy for you. I got out of jury duty a handful of times, and I got to be honest with you, I don't regret it at all. Let's go to Christine. Always great seeing Christine on the terrible board. She's got the hand wave, and always great to see you. Hope you had a great weekend, ma'am. I'm going to go to Yinzer Joe, the original Yinzer Joe. Guys, he is an OG. He says, what's up, Yinzers? What's up, Joe? Great seeing you, brother. Just learning. Always great seeing him on the board as well. He says, what up, bros? What up, dude? Tyrone says, JPJ's the GOAT. I agree. I think JPJ's the GOAT, too. Tyrone says, Ryan, Mike, we missed you. Well, we missed you too. Yesterday was our Aaron Rodgers special. In case you didn't see us, perhaps we're wondering where we were. That was our Aaron Rodgers episode.
Yeah, Vanilla Thunder is still out there. He's out there checking every truck stop, every Sheetz bathroom, looking for Aaron Rodgers. He will not rest.
I'm going to go to Julie. Julie Sofan. I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. She says, hello, I'm new here. It's great to see you, Julie. Welcome to the show. Vegas says, drinks on Boswell. That's right. We'll get into that shortly. Some different thoughts on that. But we'll get to it real soon. Vegas says, you going to eat your cornbread?
Great movie. Great line.
Absolutely. Christine says, I make at least once. So that's amazing. Like I said, I've waited years without cornbread. It's unbelievable. It's such a delicious food. Couldn't fall by the wayside like it does. Christine says, Vegas, you eat your cornbread. Let's go to tortilla. I'm more of a garlic bread. Yeah, I like garlic bread. I like any kind of bread when it comes down to it. Bread is just my stuff, man. I love bread. Yeah, but garlic bread is great. Vegas says, what do you put on it? Butter, honey, ranch? I don't put anything. I eat it. Listen, I don't eat it enough to experiment. I figured if I put something on it and effed it up, it might not be. Who knows how long it'll be till I eat cornbread again? So I just ate it. I just ate it raw. I mean, not raw, but with nothing on it, and it was fantastic.
I just put. Don't you just put like just a little bit of butter on cornbread?
Nah, hell. Well, like I said, I mean, I could do that, but Mike, I haven't had cornbread. It was enough for me to keep it in my hand long enough for it to be in my hand. It was gone before I even knew it. But I'd like to see some more cornbread in my future. Let's do scoot right here to Christine. Are we shaving today? No, we're not shaving per se, but we do have the pictures. I had them put together last week for you. We'll get into that here as the show does go on. However, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about shaving, actually. I know it's my playoff mustache. I know that I've always said that, but I've been thinking about, just in my own mind. I've been thinking about cutting it off, but tortilla. Hold on, let me get up to that here. Vegas says, this to me, life is the funniest horror movie ever. When what's more horrifying than being in jail for life while being 100% innocent? There you go. Exactly. Somber in the house. Always great seeing Somber in the house. Also, we have his pictures as well. Do stick around today, guys. A lot of fun things going on. We do have picture. It's show and tell, if you will, today. Christine says, Vegas is one of my top favorite movies, 15 movies of all time. Tortilla says, cornbread raw. Yes, I'm not even cooking this shit at this point. I'm just shoving it in my face. Somber says, honey, usually.
Yeah, cornbread and honey.
Yinzer Joe says, curious, fellas, how would you guys rate the Allar better if he had play for the Buckeyes and won the national championship game like Howard? I mean, that's a good question. That's something that I'm going to get into heavily today, actually. We'll get into everything here in just a moment. Let's go to Tyrone on the Terrible Board. Tyrone, my man, always great seeing him. Tyrone, Mike, he says this: I put my papers in with Taco Bell. And you know what? They owe you. I got to be honest, Ty. They probably owe you some money back somewhere. Somber says butter and honey. Corey, don't drink that. Says I'm over the AR talk at this point. LOL. Just let the young guys rip each other apart for reps and see what happens. At least it's on the team's terms and not Aaron's. Too much control for a free agent player. I couldn't agree more. We'll get into that. A lot of stuff to get into today. Vegas says Christine, same here. And Tortilla says, Tyrone, you put your paper in tacos? A lot to get into, guys. Really a lot to get into. Let me grab Somber real quick. Tyrone is going to get like a decade of back pay. And then Ty says, like, got him. In tacos, I trust. That's right, baby. In tacos, Ty trusts. Guys, before we do get rolling, let me just go through these things here real quick. Buccos, they start a 3-game series today with the Colorado Rockies at home. Like, we are hosting the Rockies, and it is Paul Skeens Day. Pirates got to get back on track after losing Sunday to the San Francisco Giants on the road. Game is today. It's 6:40 game, 1 of 3. Pirates are 22-19 coming into this game. They play the Rockies game 1 of 3 today. Pittsburgh Penguins couldn't be any happier, Mike. Not because they are in the playoffs, not because they're advancing in the playoffs, not because they have a chance at winning the cup, but Mike, a few days ago, the Philadelphia Flyers get swept by Carolina in the NHL, which again, Mike, yes, this has to be what it feels like to be a Browns fan, because at the end of the day, we're happy. We're like, okay, well, we're not winning a championship, but the Flyers ain't winning it either. This has to be what the Browns feel like when the Steelers get eliminated from the playoffs. But the Browns. I'm sorry, Mike. But that is going on in the NHL. That is continuing. The Philadelphia Flyers sent home without a win against Carolina.
Good. Couldn't happen to a better franchise.
The Pittsburgh Passion with an amazing game on the weekend, Mike. They traveled down to D.C. to take on the D.C. Divas, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Pittsburgh looked really good. We thought they were going to be well on their way for another championship run. The D.C. Divas, Mike, make it a close game. 14-14 as time is running out. Pittsburgh, the kicker, she kicks a 34-yard field goal to win the game in walk-off fashion. Mike, the Pittsburgh Passion wins 17-14 over the DC Divas. They will be back at it. Not this week. They got a bye week this week, Mike. However, they'll be back the following weekend as they'll travel to Cincinnati to take on their women's team. That will be May 23rd. May 23rd on that. And I got to be honest with you, if you haven't had a chance, go check out Pittsburgh Passion. They're on YouTube. You can just type it in, Pittsburgh Passion versus DC Divas. And it's a lot of fun. And you know what? I was watching a stream. Some guy was doing a live stream of the Pirates. Mm-hmm. And I even, because he sounded like he knew his Pittsburgh stuff. So I said to him, I'm like, hey, did you see the Pittsburgh Passion finish last night? And he goes, whoa. It was in the message board, you know. Mm-hmm. He goes, whoa, Ryan. Because he read my name. He goes, well, I don't know about that. I'm married. I was like, bro, it's not the lingerie league. These chicks hit harder than a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, my wife's upstairs. And I'm thinking, bro, what? Didn't have any clue, which sucks. But if you do want to check these gals out, because they can sure play football, they can hit. And again, like our quarterback was the MVP 2 years ago. Such a threat. Pittsburgh Passion, they get the big win, 17-14 over the Divas, Mike, giving them the edge in this season. They, again, will be traveling to Cincinnati in 2 weeks after their bye to get back at it. The Passion is 2-0. Can you believe that?
Like, believe that dude's reaction or the Passion are 2-0?
No, the guy's reaction.
And that's just wild and crazy. Like, why would you... It's nuts. Like, dude, it's... Yeah, they're women. They're playing football. Why does it always have to come back to that? The lingerie. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Like, would he freak out? Like, if you asked him, "Hey, do you catch that women's softball game?"
But the thing was, I mean, he didn't know. So, I mean, that's one thing. If he was being a fool, that'd be something different. But again, at the end of the day, I kind of wish people would pay a little bit more attention because it's worth your watch. It really is. And again, it's on YouTube. You can pull up anytime. It's no struggle at all. But again, the Passion, a big win early in this season, Mike. The Pittsburgh Riveters, the other girls football team in town, the soccer squad, they start this weekend, Mike. This is week 1 for them as they host Buffalo FC. That will be Saturday at 7 o'clock, Mike, in the opener for the Riveters.
Let's go.
A lot of things to get into today, guys. A lot of things to get into as let me grab a couple messages before we do start on, so I don't get too far behind, because we're gonna get into some shit. We're gonna get into some shit here today. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says Tyrone is gonna get like a decade of back pay. LOL. Tyrone says, I got him in tacos, I trust. Let's go right here. Taco Tax Tortilla says, I miss these guys. I gotta be honest with you. I just did. And I always do. Let's go here. The wit, you know what I mean? There's wit on this board that I don't see in my everyday life, and I love it.
No, they're funny as fuck.
Vegas, some people put their giant taco truck in the adjacent parking lot, like 50 feet from Del Taco on the weekends. That's hilarious to me. Let's scoot up here to Tortilla. Bro, wife probably plays for the Divas. Bro, wife probably. Let's go.
About that dude.
Oh, the yeah, and I like him too. And again, I don't know. You just expect somebody from Pittsburgh to know these things.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I really made a point. Let's go here. Cody D-Man, he says this. Mike, you know who else you should believe?
Who?
I don't know. I don't know if he finished his thought.
Oh, I know what's coming up. Knowing him.
Nah, I don't think you do. Let's scoot here. Tyrone says, Ball's got the bag. You know who's next, right? You know what? I got a little
JPJ, baby.
a little bit to talk about that as well. 007. Why do you suppose the Cowboys they would not work on a long-term contract with Pickett this offseason, and they expected him to play on the franchise because he's nuts, because he's out of his mind? They don't want to make any commitments. I just that's what it appears to me. I don't know. Call me crazy, but just by just by common sense, I think. Unless there's something I don't know, but I guess let's go to Cody. He says, "These nuts." Move along to Tortilla. We missed y'all. Thank you, bro. We always miss you guys. We sure do. And Cody says, Tortilla misses the tortas. Yeah, baby. A lot to get into today. I'm going to start, Mike. Of course, the Steelers, they wrapped up rookie camp over the weekend. They do have the schedule coming out Thursday at 8 o'clock. You're not going to want to miss that. Today, we're going to have a little fun on the show. I'm going to ask a question, and I hope everybody plays along because it's concerning the draft that is, or I'm sorry, not the draft, the schedule release that is coming up on Thursday. Just hang tight on that. We will put it out here in just a moment. I think it's going to be fun. Tortilla says some tortas can't be missed. But we are going to get into camp today. We're going to talk about some results, some things, how the camp went. And if anybody has any important scoop, I'm not seeing anything online. So it's really it's really telling me that there wasn't much that was said. But Omar Khan was on Debo and Joe this morning. I did not get a chance to catch it. So if anybody does have any information from that, or if anything pops up in the meantime, do let us know, because that was today. I did try to catch it. I just didn't. But of course, Omar Khan was on the Debo and Joe show today. A lot to get into, guys. So much to get into. I'm going to talk about two things, Mike, and then we'll talk about something fun for the day. We got a couple events today. We have a couple of things we're going to do. So do hang out, stick around. It's going to be a great show. Glad to see everybody on this Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning, just depending on wherever you be. Welcome back to the show. Let's start with the pink elephant in the room. Of course, some of the big news here in Pittsburgh over the weekend. Chris Boswell, Mike, on a 4-year, $28 million deal, now tied with Brandon Aubrey from the Dallas Cowboys as being the highest paid kicker in the history of the NFL. Mike, is a 4-year, $28 million contract a good thing or a bad thing for a kicker who's been here for 10 years, kind of had arguably his worst season since he's been here last year? Where does this $28 million 7 years, or I'm sorry, the $28 million 4 years, $7 million a season go here? And listen, in my opinion, I think the punter should be paid, or the kicker should be paid a lot more in general, because they so much comes off of their foot. You win a lot of games, you lose a lot of games by the leg of the kicker. And then on the other hand, Mike, you take a guy like Watt, who may get a big sack, he may not get a big sack, he gets paid quarterback one money. So my thing is, I always think that the punters need more because they're just as important as everybody else. You know what, even if he's not out there, guess what, TJ Watt isn't making a play every single time he's out there. So that's one thing. My second part is this, Mike. I do think this. RB brought this up on the board the other day, and this was my thought as soon as I heard it. Are you okay with $4 years, $28 million for Chris Boswell at this point in his career? What if he starts sucking it up? What if this year matches last year and we start to go on a decline after that with him again? He's been on the team 10 years, and last year, arguably, his weakest year as a Steeler.
I haven't seen the full breakdown of his contract yet. It hasn't been released yet, but we do know, like you said, it's 4 years, $28 million. I think $14.5 million is guaranteed money. So this leads me to believe it's another typical contract that Omar Khan gives these guys, front loaded, like with a big guarantee. And then those last 2 years are probably going to be years that were, okay, if he does start sucking, we can get rid of him, and the cap hit is negligible. So that's what I wanted to look at before the show, and it's not up yet, but I think that's what's going to happen there. It's going to be one of those type of deals where it's beneficial for you. You're getting money up front, beneficial for us because those last couple of years are going to be years that we can get rid of you, and it's fair that way for both parties. And like with Boswell last year being like one of his worst years, got to think of some of those kicks and some of the in the weather conditions, he had to go out there and kick in. He had like 2 within like 30 to 39 that he missed. That's concerning. But a lot of the other ones were from 49 plus, 50 plus. Some of them were in very bad conditions. So,
but if you're a person that's going to be paid more than any kicker in the history of the game, shouldn't you be maybe kind of expected
You
to possibly
should,
make
yeah.
those kind of kicks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more than
And
anybody's
that's why he
ever been
was-
played. And there's been
Yeah.
some great kickers out there, some
Yeah.
game-winning kickers in
Yeah.
Super Bowls, distance-wise.
Yeah, he probably like. I know for sure there's like one of them. I know like he was trotted out there, and I think everyone kind of knew like if he makes this thing, it's a goddamn miracle. Like three of the other ones were like, you probably should have made those. But I'm willing to give Boswell the benefit of the doubt because whenever he's had like one of those years where it's like, oh, he's looking like he might be losing it, he respawns the next year and the year after that to kick really well. So that's kind of what the Steelers are banking on. That's what I'm banking on too. Like he's going to be better this year than he was last year. That's just because look at his record. That's how he goes. If he dips down a little bit, he comes back even stronger the next year. I'm okay with it. With the contract that you see 4 years, $28 million. That's a big number. Oh my God, that's a lot of money for a kicker. Start breaking down the contract and see where all the money is. And I'm assuming that it's going to be in those first 2 years. And then after that, you can get rid of them free and clear for the most part. So I'm okay with this contract, just basing it off of how every other contract extension we have done has been done to where it's not going to come back to bite us in the ass.
Of course, some big names also, Mike, still waiting to negotiate to try to get an extension on their contract, JPJ being one of them. JP Senior Peasy says this, Mike, when asked about the waiting, is there going to be an extension for JPJ? This was the response of Peasy. He says, how can you complain when we watched them make TJ Watt wait? So basically, you know what? Somebody that's held in such a respect for the Steelers organization, like TJ Watt, if they didn't run to give him money, I wouldn't get upset. As Peasy says, Mike, don't get too antsy because at the end of the day, this stuff takes time. They did get to take care of Chris Boswell over the weekend, and we will see how soon JPJ, Washington, Keanu Benton, I think there was somebody else on there. Herbig.
Yeah.
How much that or when that comes to play. But guys, the one thing I do know is Monday we do start OTAs. This is less than a week from now. So that is also coming up. Thursday, we have schedule release. We'll know what's up with the Steelers schedule on Thursday night at 8:00 p.m. And then on Monday, we do start OTAs. So it's coming, brother. We're here. It's mid-May. We're about 90 days away from being in January or July. I'm sorry. Well, let's think. What is it? May, June, July? 90 days away from preseason games, I should say. Yeah. It will be in August. So another 90 days. We will be getting ready to play some football. That is exciting. But let me get back to this for just a moment, Mike. I do want to say that we do know that the schedules will be released on Thursday night. So I'm going to ask everybody to do something today, guys. Who do you think? Throw your guesses up on the board. There's no right answer at this point. Who do you think the Steelers will play in the very first game of this year? I have a couple guesses. Again, there's no right answer. There's no way to confirm or tell me I'm wrong, but let's just have a little fun with it. Again, we'll find out here in a couple days. Mike, I think they're either going to play one of these two teams in the very first game of the year.
Okay.
I think it's either going to be Houston.
Ooh.
Because we do get the AFC South, and they could play the card. This is the two teams that met in the playoffs last year, and Houston knocked them off. Can Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers come back and beat Houston in this opener? That's my one guess. And my other team is, I think, the Atlanta Falcons. For some reason, Mike, we tend to get them early a lot when we play them. I know we did a few years back. It was the game that Connor and Cam both had games down in Atlanta, and a lot of talk about that, of course, Ironhead, Hayward, Mike. So those are my two teams. Throw some guesses up throughout the course of the show. Guys, do remember we do play the AFC South, the NFC South, and the first place teams from the other AFC divisions. And also the Philadelphia Eagles is the weirdo team in the schedule this year, guys. So throw your guesses up on the board as we go. Original Yinzer Joe saying the Broncos. KC, Cody says KC, but they don't play KC this year. They don't play Seattle either. So try to keep it within. Again, if maybe you don't know, some people, they do play the AFC South, the NFC South, the first place finishing teams from the AFC, and also the Eagles. Mike, again, Houston, In Atlanta, you don't have to answer now. Just think about it. And again, there's no right answer. It's just something fun to do. No wrong answer. Who do you think that the Steelers are going to open up the season with? And Mike, these two teams both play in Pittsburgh this year. So that has me saying either Atlanta or Houston at home week 1. I'm seeing Cody again saying the Rams, but I'm going to go Tyrone. Tyrone says the Panthers, which is a possibility. Tortilla saying Tennessee. And again, it's going to be fun today. Just throw it up there as we get back into things. This is schedule week. We're less than a week from OTAs. Things are feeling good here in the Berg. I got to be honest with you, Mike, better than I expected they would be here in the middle of May. But here we are. We'll get into so many reasons why I think we should feel optimistic here in the course of the show. And I do even want to say, Mike, this is how a good of a mood I'm in. I will also even say good afternoon or good evening or whatever the hell it is to Tater on the board. My Tater Tard on the board today. It's okay seeing you.
I'm glad you're here.
I don't want to say it's nice seeing you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's nice you to come in and hang out.
Yeah. Hope things are going well for you in the United Kingdom. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says this. Cody, whoever the best team in the league, we will play them on Christmas. Tyrone says, oh, Lord, Tater Tard. Tortilla says, it's okay. Somber says, I'll say the Jags. And you know what? They were in my mind, Somber. They were my team before I went with Houston and before I went with Atlanta. My very first instinct was the Jaguars. So, again, throw them up there. Cody says, Tater must have blocked me. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with Tater? He might be on the vertical stream for all I know.
He might be hanging out by himself.
You know the Tard over there. But again, welcome, Tater Tard. Great seeing you. And again, throw your teams up through the course of the show. Again, everybody, AFC South, NFC South, all the AFC first place finish teams in the Eagles. Who do you guys think the Steelers will open up against? I have two teams that can only be home games, but that is my teams, Mike, Atlanta and Houston. You could think about it if you need to, and as we move on. Let's go here. Somber says, I see him on this street. Oh, do you? Lingering, being all weird and European and shit. Hey, what's up, Jamal? Always great seeing Jamal in the house, my man. He says, welcome to the club. LOL. All right, guys. So with all that being said, let's do a move along. I just talk about a couple moves here real quick for the Steelers. They signed a couple of their draftees, but Mike, outside of that, which they were expected to do at this point, outside of that, this is a couple other things. If you love Scotty Miller, you're not going to see him back, Mike. He did sign with the Chicago Bears. That's right. Scotty doesn't know, Mike. He is gone. He was one of our big weapons last year. Part of the reason why the Steelers team didn't advance past the first round in the playoffs, amongst many. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming Scotty. But at the end of the day, Mike, Scotty Miller is not depth in your wide receiver room anymore, Mike, as he is on his way to Chicago.
Damn. I thought they had a pretty good receiver room. They must be down bad for some Scotty Miller then, baby. If they're signing him, that's when I saw that come across the wire. I'm like, really? That made no sense.
And also, Mike, other moves in the division. David Njoku going to the Chargers. The LA Chargers are bringing David Njoku in to add more weapons on that team. You should probably add more linemen, but that's just my opinion. They got ample weapons and skill positions at this point. But you know what? That's outside my area of interest. It's not even a team that we could play this year. But, Mike, that is also David Njoku, the Cleveland Brown tight end, on his way to play for the Chargers. Scotty Miller on his way to play for Chicago.
If Njoku can stay healthy, really good move right there.
I agree. If he can stay healthy,
that's the thing, man. He was banged the fuck up last year.
As far as some other moves, Mike, this is the Steelers signed a center, Greg Crippen, and release offensive lineman Satoa Lamua as they are continuing to shape and form and shift this lineup. Mike, you're not going to know a whole bunch. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, as we always say, you pretty much know what the team is going to look like with a few odd players here and there. Or the Max Harleman's going to make it? Is Eli going to make it? At the end of the day, you're just trying to shake out the bottom of the roster and seeing who's going to be on this squad, Mike. But that is a couple moves that has going on. As I said, also the you're getting draft picks signed. I don't have to go through all the names. You know who they are. And then I thought I had something somewhere else here. But maybe I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that looks like it as far as a lot of the transitions and transactions, I'm sorry, and moves and things like this. As of right now, again, this is still way early as they are starting the OTAs next week, and then again, like in camp in July, games in August. So you're going to see this roster start to be formed and molded as time goes on. But again, those are still some minor moves. You're going to hear about 1 million of those minor moves, guys being cut, signed, put on the practice squad, let go, pick back up, gone here, coming back there. So again, that's just going to be something that it's custom at this time of year. Again, Mike, getting a little bit of a depth piece with Greg Crippen. The center. He played for Michigan, another Big Ten guy, Mike.
Another Big Ten guy. There, I saw a stat come across.
Hey, we keep getting these Big Ten guys. We're going to be getting our asses kicked by by SEC team players before you know it.
Hey, baby, last couple championships, Big Ten, baby, Big Ten. Where it's at right now. But yeah,
Ohio State all day, baby. Woo!
Ohio State, Michigan, baby. Indiana, my team, Indiana.
Yep.
No. So yeah, Crippen,
let's see how they run it back. They're such a great organization over there. I bet you they'll run it back this year.
I know, right? Crippen come in on a tryout and invited to OTA, signed to the team. So I think Max Hurlman last year made it as a tryout player and then made it to the practice squad. So Crippen might be a guy to keep an eye on for in camp to see if he has potential to threaten to make the practice squad and maybe push for the backup center spot. You never know. So it's a guy to keep an eye on.
It seems like it's quarterback heavy today, guys, on the show, but we do want to say stick around. We do have a lot going on today. I do want to throw up who you believe is going to be the first team on the Steelers schedule as the schedule comes out 2 days from today. Matter of fact, 8 o'clock tonight will be 48 hours from then. Steelers and also all the NFL's schedules will be released on Thursday. Throw whoever you think they'll be opening up against. And I have 2 teams. I already mentioned like Houston and Atlanta. Both of those games could only be at home. Those are my opening day games. Let's stick on the board here as we scoot along. I'm going to go right here to Yinzer Joe. He says, Tater Tart, Steelers aren't even playing the Browns first. Don't even say it. I heard they weren't even going to let the Browns play in the NFL anymore. They're just, you know what's funny about Tater? Tater comes in and he's like, oh, you guys, it's so, you always talk about this being over 500. It's like, bro, you've never finished out of last place. How are you going to talk about somebody whose biggest problem is finishing 500 or better every year? That's one thing. I thought about Tater the other day. I thought about that, but he'll still come in here every day and tell us about the failures of our squad, if you will, Mike. Again, only finishing ahead of the Steelers one time since 1988.
That's the definition of Make-A-Wish organization. It's really what they are. It's like the league felt bad for Cleveland fans. They're like, okay, we'll give you someone. We'll give you this little team right here. They're never going to do anything, but we'll give you something to watch.
Let's go on the terrible board. Let's go right here. Cody says this a straight lovable son. I'm a straight lovable son. Ty says, can we get a home opener again? It's been since San Fran. That's my vibe. I'm getting a home game. I'm getting a home game against Atlanta or against Houston. That's just me, though. Let's go to Cody. Cody says they didn't sign JPJ, though. Somber, he says Evan Hall signed by the Texans as well. Cody says Scotty's on fire. Follows it up by saying Mini-Me loves chocolate Scotty. Don't. Oh, yeah. Scotty don't. Yinzer Joe says Bearship DJ Moore to the Bills, so they need wide receiver depth. Boy, they really know how to go out and get him. You get rid of DJ Moore and bring in Scotty.
Right.
Vegas says, too bad D's Nuts wasn't a popular saying when Rick Dees was doing the weekly top 40. I'm sure he would have loved hearing that every call. Cody, or Tyrone says, Cody, keep it up. You just keep it up over there, mister. Mark Malone, he says the writing's on the wall for JPJ after the Everett drafting.
Week 2 of the trolling.
I do want to say welcome to the great Mark Malone on the terrible board as always. Great seeing you, sir. Hope everything went good for you over the weekend. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day, as this was Mother's Day over the weekend. Tortilla says, we bripping around here. Also, Cody says Sandusky Thunder. There you go, Mike. Steel Loyal, what's up? Always great seeing Steel Loyal also on the terrible board. He says this, Mark Malone, that makes no sense. Mark replies, he says Everett and Dean will be the outside guys for the next few years. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says Mark knows his favorite player. Mason Rudolph is on limited time, so he has to tell Tyrone his favorite player is also leaving. Steel Loyal says Mark Malone, you're so wrong. Laugh my ass off. Tyrone says this, don't let it get to you, Loyal. He's trying hard. Y'all got me last week, though. No more wasting my breath. 24, the GOAT bag talk soon. I listen, you can only do so many things at a time. I think they're going to get it, and it's going to certainly happen. I don't understand why in a million years it wouldn't. I got to be honest with you. Let's go. And again, Mike, Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't care who's in charge, love names. They love names. They love it. They love having brothers. They love having people with the same. They just do. It's always been that way. Joey Porter Jr. will be a Pittsburgh Steeler for quite some time. I expect him to get his extension
by training camp.
Yeah,
you would think. And I don't think he's going to do the Cam Hayward, TJ Watts.
No, because he's not.
I'm going to hold it.
He's not a jackass princess like Cam. That's why.
Yeah.
His dad's probably like, dude, you're going to do this right. This is how it's going to go. And you're going to be a successful football player. And sometimes being a successful football player in the NFL is more than playing good football. Sometimes it's knowing how to do business and having good advice for people from off the field. I think JPJ is going to do just fine, Mike. I look forward to him being for many of years and keeping guys out of the end zone for our Pittsburgh Steelers on Sundays for years to come. I think he gets his money. Just a matter of time. I would not worry about it. Let's go here to Vegas. Vegas says, I bet Brown's podcasts are boring as fuck. Can you imagine? You know what? That's going to be my homework today. I'm going to go out and find a Browns podcast, and I'm going to report back tomorrow and what kind of experience it was. If I could even find one. Let's go here. There's Tater. Tortilla says Dean and Everett might not even be on the roster in a few years. JPJ for sure will, though. Cody says, I think they gave 24 to Bernard. Tortilla says 24 kisses. Mark Malone says Everett and Dean are locked up for several years. Is JPJ. Cody says the JPJ to Dallas is getting louder. Steel Loyal Tyrone. I know he's trolling. You know, Cody. Tortilla says, he says Dean is locked up for 2 years and Everett won't even be starting for at least 2 years. Tortilla also says this, I can't wait for JPJ to get paid. Mark will owe Tyrone money. That's right.
Money or Taco Bell.
Yeah. I like that. It's a no lose. Let's go here to Mark Malone. They let Daddy Porter walk too. Yeah, but they let a lot of people go at the end of their career, and rightfully so. That's the way the football business is ran successfully. You can't, there's a line. There's a fine line. You want to keep people through their extent, through the duration of, their spike years. What's the word I'm looking for? Their highlight years. But when they get to that point, that's where a skill comes in and says, you know what, does this guy, is this a guy worth keeping around for gazillion dollars? You could always talk about the TJ Watt situation, Mike, and people's argument and debate with that. Was it just a little too much for a little too long? People may be still asking the same question about Chris Boswell. But you know what? On the other hand, a lot of people were happy with the Chris Boswell, just happy to get him signed, Mike. We have a kicker who's a known successful kicker in the league. So at the end of the day, but that's where the business comes down to it. I don't think it's going to affect Jay Peasy and Joey Porter Jr. at the end of the day. But that's what you're up against here, Mike. It's the business part of football, which, again, football players probably don't love this part.
Yeah.
This is why you have agents. This is why you have people doing your work for you. But it will get done. I couldn't imagine it, though, Mike. I come on. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think there'll be a lot of people in Pittsburgh that will certainly be very, very vocal and unhappy if JPJ, this doesn't work out the way that I think 99% of the people think it's going to work out.
Yeah, and rightfully so. If they don't work it out, he is one of the best young corners in the NFL. Not even young corners. He's just one of the best corners in the NFL, flat out. So you have to You have to lock him up, and you get the contract extensions that are easy out of the way first. Boswell was an easy extension. They were trying to work on it last year, it just didn't work out. So you get it done now, so you can now focus on the guys that are going to be here for the long haul. The young core. Now you start getting those guys signed. You got to start with Porter, and the next easiest one should be Washington. Should be easy. Then if you want to keep Benton, I think Benton you might have to wait until after the season, see how well he does in the new D line rotation, if he's worth bringing back at a rotational price. And then the hardest one's going to be Herbig, and that one's going to be a long drawn out process.
That'll be the complicated.
That's going to be because my man he learned a lot from Watt, not only pass rush wise but contract wise. He said he follows all those sites that have everyone's salaries. He's on that like white on rice. Who do you think he learned that from? TJ Watt of I need 1 penny more than Myles Garrett. I guarantee you, Herbig's going to want a shit ton of money.
Ugh.
And at that point, it comes into a whole new conversation of, do you pay him all that money? And then, okay, do you ship off Highsmith at that point? It's going to be that contract's going to be a long one. I think that one might not get signed before training camp, and he might play out the season on his rookie deal. And then you see the Steelers franchise his ass and then figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good possibility, Mike. Let's stay on the board here, guys. A lot of things to get into today. I don't want to get behind. I'm going to go to Somber. He says, yeah, Peasy said it on Cam's pod, paraphrasing. We're going to be patient. When it's time to go to work, we go to work. We know it's a long process. Absolutely. And again, I don't think they're worried. It's, again, if anybody knows the business, it's Jay Peasy. Pops, of course, was in the league quite a while. And again, sometimes, having that experience, Mike, where he didn't finish with the Steelers, that's good information and a good experience to have, because now, again, he could always be there to help his son out. But again, I'm sure things are going to be fine here in Pittsburgh. Lindsay, always great seeing Lindsay on the terrible board. Hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. Always great seeing you in the house. Jamal, my man, he says this. Jamal says, man, did y'all hear Tom Brady at Kevin Hart's roast on Netflix? I did not. I will check it out, though. Must-see TV shit was funny as fuck. Made me laugh. Made me like Brady a little. Tyrone says, yeah, Mark, you owe me Taco Bell. Mark is he's in the hole. He's going to be owing Taco Bell out. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, whoa, Jamal, did you just say you like the white guy? Well, it took some beating and some forming and shaping, but he's getting there. Tom Brady is somewhat of a likable guy. I agree. I hated him when he played. I mean, I literally hated him, but I've learned to like him and respect him at the end of the day. As long as he can't beat us anymore, I guess that's why. Yinzer Joe Tater, why you talk about your own fan base, Paul? I mean, I think it's just the truth. Yinzer Joe, and you know what? I respect that. I respect that he's truthful. He could be a Browns fan like every other annoying Browns fan and just come here and talk all this shit. Well, he does. He does. But on the other hand, he's somewhat knowledgeable as well. So I can respect that. Let's do scoot along here to Tortilla. Jamal loves Muth. Jamal says, I laugh my ass off, dude. I'm here every day, of course. Bro, we love you too, man. We know this. Mark Malone says, Porter racked up 17.5 sacks in Miami in 2008. Tortilla says, gang. Cody says, no, but it might affect Washington, Herbig, and Benton for sure. As Mike was just saying, I think you guys are on the right track here. Jamal, gang in this thing. That's right, baby. Always great seeing Jamal in the house. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Ty, Mike 100. Ty also says TJ told what JPJ and Herbig to do 100%. Yinzer Joe says Mount Washington will stay. Herbig and Benton will probably be traded. And that's what's going to piss me off if that does play out like that, Mike. Because at the end of the day, you're banking everything. Lindsay, close your ears. You're banking everything on TJ is going to be the dominant player.
Yeah.
He always has been as time goes on and gets older and slower and the league adapts to him. And so, again, at the end of the day, I would be so pissed off. Something's got to be figured out here because, again, Nick Herbig is young with the skills in the engine and just the way he moves. I would love to see him stick around. But at the end of the day, it's business. It's business.
It is. And you can't pay everyone and keep everyone. There used to be a time, when the Steelers understood that when Dan Rooney was in charge. He understood you let these players go. Yeah, like Mark Malone said on the board, Porter had 17 and a half sacks that year in Miami. What did he do after that? It is better to get rid of a guy a year early than hold on to him 3 years too late. And that's kind of what we're doing with people like TJ Watt right now. We need to get back to like those third contracts should not happen. 2 contracts, and then a third maybe is a year or two extension off of that last contract, not these 3-4 year massive deals at the end where you get a shit ton of money, and that's gonna limit the amount of young talent that we can have. We have to keep getting back into a cycle of letting guys go. Well, you have that new cream of crop coming up, and we have that in place now with some of these guys, but we extended guys because we want them to be one helmet guys who haven't won anything here. You got to be willing to let people go so this young crop can come in, so the team can have success. It should be what the Steelers do. Are the Steelers being successful? I care about the individual player, but I care about the team more. So we got to get back to that philosophy. And one way to do that might be to start jettisoning some of these big contracts and take a hit for a year or two.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, people in Pittsburgh, it's like this. I know this for a fact. But sometimes to make things better, you have to kind of take hits every now and then, Mike. So again, like you're saying, if you got to get rid of some players, make things happen. It may be what happens. But at the end of the day, guys, certainly we'll be paying a lot of attention to this topic. Mike, I have 2 topics we're going to get to in the second hour of the show. Let me stay on the board here as we do approach the hour mark of the show. But the 2 big topics, of course, the pink elephant from Santa Clara, California, with the big bug eyes. We're going to talk about that big elephant, and then also we are going to talk about rookie camp, Mike, as we did wrap up rookie camp over the weekend, Mike, with OTAs just 6 days away. Monday, the 18th, will be the start of OTAs, and again, schedule release Thursday night at 8 o'clock. So a lot of stuff still coming along here during the off season for our Steelers. Let's stay back on the board here, Mike. As I do, we'll round out this first half of the show with the board. Let's go to Lindsay. Can they actually afford to pay everyone this year? More than likely not, but at the end of the day, you could renegotiate. You could also, a lot of the deals are, the multi-year. So, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. It will certainly be very interesting, as it always is.
Yeah, as long as they get no new money for this year,
right?
The contracts that they'll sign will be fine. It's just like the signing bonuses. I think that's like what cash on hand stuff. They can kind of make that work. It's just like as long as their regular salary doesn't increase, they should be fine because they still gotta. Because they do like to keep a few $1 million free just in case they do have to sign someone during the season if someone gets hurt and stuff like that. So you might see one of them, they get money this year, and the rest will be like they all kick in next year.
All right, let's go right here. Ty says Benton might be the odd man out. If anybody was the odd man out, I'd want him to be the odd man out. I want Herbig. I want Porter. I want Washington. Benton's always been somebody I felt that we could improve from if he was in fact not able to get to where we need him to be. Yes, he did improve last year, but again, what we've seen from the first 2 years is it just a natural getting better because you're acclimated to the league, or was he actually playing better last year to where we should consider that? We don't know. Tortilla says this: they can afford to pay 2 or 3. Definitely, once we extend a few players, it will open up more cap space and move more money around. Lindsay, okay, great. I'm glad that you did have a great Mother's Day, Lindsay. It's always awesome to hear. Let's go right here to Tortilla. I'd be surprised if they pay Herbig, Benton, Washington, JPJ, and Boz, but they can make it happen. Steel Loyal says this: yeah, I like Tom Brady too more now that he's right. Yeah, I do too. Like I said, I can totally respect it and go back and watch highlights and be excited about what he did. But when he played, there was no excitement for me with that guy. None. Tyrone says one might be left out. Benton, my guess. If I was to want one to be left out, it would be Benton. Lindsay, Benton can go pay everyone out. Benton can go pay everyone else. Ty says Lindsay agree 100. Tyrone also says ball is done. JPJ, Herbig, Darnell, and or more important, I couldn't agree with you more. And don't get me wrong. I think Boswell is important. I think any kicker that you have is important. Again, that's why I hope we made the right move, Mike. 4 years again, he did. We can say that it was his worst year in his career. What does that mean for a kicker, a veteran that's been around for a while? We don't know, because kickers are weird. They're just weird people, Mike. Sometimes they could be affected by things, other times not affected by certain things. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to the mind of that particular player.
It does too. The thing that's giving me hope, like I said earlier, is like I was just looking at his career, like good years, then a bad one, then really good years, then a down one, then really good one. So like he seems to be that guy that will have like 3 or 4 good years, and then a little dip, and then back up, then a little dip. This was his little dip. Now is he going to get back to where he was, or not? Is he going to have to be kicking in some weird situations where? Or you kind of wasn't used to. You don't know. We'll see here, but I'm okay with it until I see like the actual breakdown of the contract. But like I said, I have a feeling it's going to be like a 2-year deal for Boswell.
All right, Tortilla says, yeah, I agree. I think we have to trade Highsmith to pay Herbig, though paying $80 million to rushers is kind of. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna. Here's the thing: we have to make an important business decision at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. How do you handle this edge rusher position when it comes to contracts, when it comes to money? You already have one guy getting paid like quarterbacks. You have another guy on a rookie contract who's out playing the guy getting paid like quarterbacks, and then you have Highsmith in there as well. So again, it's going to be business. It's going to be business as usual. I hope they make the right move. Let's do scoop forward here. I know that Lindsay, she says, I don't want Herbig traded at all. Neither do I. Tyrone says trade Highsmith, pay Herbig. It's simple. Steel loyal, Boswell. The leg lamp. Lindsay said, yes, I would rather Highsmith go. Right here, let's go to Somber. I would not be surprised if they traded Benton and Herbig to the same place. Interesting thought there. You know who might like that? Dallas, who's been trying to scrape every defensive players we have through this offseason. Tortilla, he says, yeah, I can see it, especially if we get the injuries before the deadline. Go right here. Yinzer Joe says this. Benton and Herbig have to do more than the veterans we have, or they'll be traded. In my opinion, they're not good enough to hold the line in all edges. Anyway, trade them. Mark Maloney says they're willing to let JPJ go. Tortilla says Carson Beck called. He wants his eyes back. Mark Malone. Steel loyal. Mark Malone wants to trade JPJ for Carson Beck. Tortilla replies, eye for an eye. Steel loyal, he replies, eye for an eye. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, Mark RB's cousin. Let's go to Somber. He was playing better on the end at his natural position. All right, we are kind of caught up there, guys. Let's get to some stuff. Let's get to. Listen, we got the big-eyed lemur, the pink elephant in the room. We're going to talk about him in just a moment.
Big-eyed lemur.
But I want to talk, Mike, about the. I want to talk about the rookie camp, Mike. A few notes from rookie camp over the weekend. Of course, this did wrap up. That is another thing checked off the checklist as we continue through this offseason. Again, 90 days, Mike. We're going to be playing preseason football games. So we're not that far away. We're more than 90 days away, of course, from when the Steelers last played their playoff game against Houston and took the L. So we're closer to playing than we are to the last time we played. So that's got to be encouraging in a way. Again, 90 days away, Mike. We will be playing or really close to playing preseason football, as today is the 12th of May. So that is coming up soon. Again, Thursday night, the schedule will be released. We will know who the Steelers will be playing. Do throw your thoughts up. Who do you think the Steelers are going to open up against this week? If you can, throw it up on the board. I think it's either going to be Atlanta at home or Houston at home. Those are my guesses, but there's no way of knowing who's right and who's wrong. And also, Mike, I want to make a point to say there will be games that do get leaked throughout the week. The next 2 days, you're going to hear Christmas games, you're going to hear Thanksgiving games, you're going to hear Monday night games, but the schedule will come out in its entirety on Thursday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I can't wait. It's nice to figure out, who we're playing. Like, what are my weekends going to look like? How how bad are we going to get screwed over by having short rest? All that fun stuff that comes with the schedule release. That's what I'm looking for, is the primetime games, and how fucked are we getting fucked over by the NFL again? Because you know what happens. We're going to have like a 3-day rest. You know it's coming up. It would play 4 games in 8 days, some shit like that, like they always do to us.
Still loyal. He says 10 out of 10 for Ryan. Also, Tyrone says soon I will get the last laugh. And finally, still loyal says 90. That's right, baby. 90 in the house. Lindsay says everyone seriously knows JPJ is getting paid, so I don't know why it's a debate. I couldn't agree with you more, Lindsay. Let's get into some rookie camp talk. It was a good rookie camp. Coach McCarthy is excited. He thought everything went really well. Mike, people in the organization are just buzzing how well things are going with the new coaching staff, with the rookies, and other matters as far as the Steelers go. Let's talk about some of these storylines that I have here, Mike, from rookie camp. Dunker, we all love Dunker. Everybody loves Dunker. America, maybe not America, but Pittsburgh certainly runs on Dunker. That's right, Mike. Dunker says this. He says, it don't matter to me. He says, I'm willing to play wherever they put me. That's called a football player. That's called listen, it's not that's not my natural position. I never played this. That's not, I started in high school. I have restrictions. This is a player and a mindset that you want to have from your football players, especially a lineman at the end of the day, Mike. He comes out again. Dunker over the weekend says, it does not matter to me. I will play wherever, whenever the Steelers put me. I love this, Mike. There's certain things about this team that you really feel kind of turning. And I'm going to get into a few of those today, but I'm going to start right here. Pittsburgh runs on Dunker, Mike. He's going to play. He said, come on, he'll play quarterback if he has to. Who cares? Who cares what happens with our quarterback situation? You got the mullet, the great red mullet under center. He'll play anywhere we need him, Mike.
I mean, look at that. The flow is already all pro. This guy's attitude is all pro. I mean, well, how can you not like this guy? This guy wants to go fishing and eat the fish out of the 3 rivers.
Yes, he does.
Dude's nutcase. He's taking Mad Max fishing. Go to make him kiss the fish. I like it. I like the attitude of, like, yeah, you want me to play tackle? I'll play tackle. You want me to play guard? Plot me in a guard, coach. Let's go. I'll learn this shit and do it. I'm adaptable. I'm coachable. I'm ready to go. I like this attitude. I like the pick. I hope he lives up to the look and, like, what we all want him to be. Because, my God, if he turns out to be a really good player, this thing is a home run. He is the total package. He was born to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. God damn it. And I'm ready to see him get in there. It might take some time for him to get in there and start to be a starter, but I could always go the Mason McCormick route and go, you know what, screw it. We ain't waiting. We're just going to throw you in there. Don't wait for an injury. Don't wait for Hoffman to prove that he is just a backup. Throw this kid out there and let's see what he can do.
And again, all the everything that we usually come out of every year saying, well, that's not going to happen. He's going to need time. Everything has changed this year. Again, like under the whole new coaching system, we do not know what to expect. So a lot of these things that we knew about the Steelers for the past 2 decades, that stuff is out the window. We have to relearn our team again. And listen, I like that. I'm down for change every so often. Like a couple more things that were said, talked about from rookie camp, of course, over the weekend. We did get that checked off the list. Like, we were beyond rookie camp. We're heading into the scheduled Thursday, and again, Monday starts OTA. So a lot going on for our Steelers in this offseason. Let's go to right here. Another thing I like to hear from my football players. Little number 29 out of Navy, Mike, from right here in Mount Lebanon. He says this when it was asked about his number. He goes, listen, my thing is you just take one and you make it yours. And you know what? That is one of the most level-headed things that an athlete can say. I'm going to go with 23 because it's the best number. I'm going to go with this because no, I'm going to go with a number that nobody's ever heard of, and I'm going to make it mine. And you know what? At the end of the day, I want to hear that from guys too. Sounds to me like this draft class is ready to work as they came to work for the weekend here for the first time in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're all saying the right things. They're all doing the right things. So Like, I hope the production matches the attitude and the want to.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's like, because these guys.
You don't want them to, come out and suck. I mean,
yeah, I know, but like, oh my god, like everything's looking so good right now. I just want it to keep going. Once we start seeing them out there playing, once we start seeing them practicing, running against the ones and stuff like that, how they mesh, because everything's setting up like this is going to be a really good draft class. You know, and you had some really good picks in the previous 3 draft classes from Omar and Khan. So it's Omar and Khan, Omar and Weedle. And if this can be, this 4th group right here can be that young nucleus, that core that takes this franchise to the next level, because all of them right now are saying the right things and looking the part. I just hope everything comes together with this new coaching staff to unlock the potential of not just this rookie class, but the past 3, and give them, bring out what has already been brought out, but, develop it even more. The air of hope with this team, man, is feeling really, really good.
Also, Mike, let me go back to Dunker for 1 second. Dunker is already a legend on the South Side, as he's seen, like, walking around town. Could you imagine just being over in the South Side? Nope, there's Dunker with his mullet just walking around. Like, the people on the South Side love him already. He's another Pittsburgher. He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
He loves to be here. He loves going to the river. You're going to read more in the comments here shortly about some of those things that he does in the river. We'll get to that real shortly, Mike. But again, he's become a legend on the South Side so far. We knew that this guy was going to be a rock star in Pittsburgh. We knew he was going to be a rock star in Pittsburgh. There was no doubt in my mind, Mike, and he's already off to a great start. Again, he's gonna be like, remember on Forrest Gump when he was running, and then like the people saw him, and they all of a sudden started running, and then the kids seen him, and they started running. Next thing you know, there was like 500 people running with Forrest Gump. I can see that going on in the South Side. Like Yinzer's just following Dunker, becoming this big, large crowd of fans and friends, I guess you could probably start to call them. But Mike, it's been a lot of fun with Dunker so far, and it really hasn't started yet. So again, no surprise. As Lindsay said in the most recent chat here, she says, yeah, we called Pittsburgh loving him. Absolutely. 100%. I knew there was no doubt in my mind, Mike. There was not a doubt in my mind that they would love him. Whatever the love affair is with the mullet here in the Berg, it's never changed my whole life, because even as the mullet went away between Yarmer, Yager, and Dunker, that's a long time. You and I still seen people in everyday life that has been walking around Western Pennsylvania with a mullet. Just because it wasn't a big thing or people weren't making a big deal about it, you and I and Lindsay and other people on the board, Mike, we've seen the mullet in town for years and years and years.
Dude, people were wearing the mullet unironically too.
Yeah.
When it went out of fashion, they were still rocking it, thinking
Absolutely.
they were cool with their jean jacket and their eye rock. And then they held on strong, and it has come back and popular in Dunker, to usher in a new era of the mullet. Hell yeah, we missed an opportunity. He's wearing 6'7". It would have been awesome if he could have come in wearing 68.
Yeah,
68 from Yager to Dunker. The mullet connection would have been an awesome thing for the city. You kind of dropped the ball there, but I'm willing to allow him the 6'7" in the mullet. So it works perfectly.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, because I was actually paying attention to you. See, that's why I don't pay attention sometimes, because then I lose what I'm going to say, and then,
Yeah. I'm lost now too.
Yeah, I had something I was going to say.
Like
about
I gotta hide the chat on my screen because I'm getting lost in their comments, giggling to myself, forgetting what we're talking about.
Let's scoot along, Mike. Some more rookie camp news. Riley Nowakowski, Mike, he already, according to some people in the house, is saying that he already is ahead of Meatwad. Of course, Connor Hayward, who just left this offseason, played fullback, tight end, just a lot of the odds and ends things. He went to the Raiders. Mike, a lot of people already talking about Riley Nowakowski already being ahead of where Meatwad was even last year after being in the league for quite a few years. I like that draft pick, and that's the kind of draft pick that's going to benefit the Steelers.
Yeah.
And you're not going to realize it until it's happening. You're not going to realize it until he's making something happen on the field in an unlikely situation, as Meatwad was able to do when he was here. I like this Riley Nowakowski pick, Mike. And again, I think he's going to be sneaky good here for the Steelers for a while. And then people recognize him like, oh, yeah, we love this guy. But right now, I like Nowakowski draft pick.
It's sneaky good is the perfect description for him, because you're going to be like, well, why do we have this guy? Why is this guy out there? Oh shit, man! He just picked up a 3rd and 2. Oh shit,
Right.
he just picked up a 4th and 1 out of nowhere. Oh really? He just picked up some yards there in a broken play. Oh man, he has a nice kick block there. A good play here, a good play there. He's going to be that guy. And from all accounts too, in Indiana, he was a glue guy. Kept the locker room going,
That's
kept
what we
every
need.
spirits high. You need guys like that are going to do the dirty work, but that are also great in the room to keep everything light, to keep everything fresh, to keep people energized and ready to go and happy to show up to work. Because yes, this is a sport they're playing. It's what we would love to do, but to them, that's their job. How are you going into your job every day? Some days you have shit days, but you get that one coworker that when you see them, you're immediately going to brighten up and like, all right, things are going to be good. He's that guy, and my God, like what he's going to do is not going to show up on the score sheet, but it's going to show up on the score sheet because it's going to help the team and everyone else around them.
I remember what I was going to say.
I'm awesome.
No.
Oh, okay.
It usually takes me a few hours, but today I remembered that we were talking about Dunker and his mullet and why it's popular. This is exactly why the Vanilla Thunder character was born. Like because of the mullet, the skull, the love of this in Pittsburgh. So it was tied in to the show, and that naturally happened, and that's where that came from. So again, it's no coincidence that Mike had the skullet and Dunker come along. It's just the Pittsburgh thing. It's a part of being right here in the middle of this melting pot, Mike. There was people from everywhere. Yes, New York has it, other cities have it, but we all met together in Pittsburgh for the steel mills. A lot of family members stayed, a lot went elsewhere, but at the end of the day, we have a plethora of different folks here in the Berg, and Mike, as I said, some of them folks just happen to wear mullets year round, and that again was why we organically added that to the show about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and with the real Vanilla Thunder, he is out there right now. Like I said, he's still trying to track down the Ayahuasca Express, figure out what's going on, and I think he's also lurking in the bushes wherever Dunker goes, stroking his own skullet while looking at the mullet. So I'm just keeping the seat warm for the real Vanilla Thunder. He'll be back tomorrow, though, to give us all a rundown on the Ayahuasca Express and Dunker mullet situation.
All right, let's get back to camp, Mike. Steelers deployed Weejan in a number of ways in minicamp. A lot of people were super excited about this Weejan. Mike, his ability to return kicks is certainly something that's highly anticipated here in the Pittsburgh area, Mike, with our team. Weejan was deployed, Mike, in a number of ways at minicamp. I think they're going to find ways for this guy to be involved.
Yeah, some of that type of elusiveness and speed that he shows on the returns, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he has like a limited package to start the year out. Get him some screens and shit like that.
Any rookie would, of course.
Yeah, to allow him to use that explosiveness in the offense. Why not do that? And they're going to have to do that because you're not just using a 4th round pick on a guy who's just going to be a kick returner and punt returner. You're going to find ways to little wrinkles to get him in the offense here and there. Not every game, but when score and situation calls for it, you bring him out there, and then next thing you know, like he's getting more and more involved in the offense in other ways as well. It seems to be the way for a lot of these draft picks, probably Eli as well. Can be used in small roles and then expanded as season goes on. And then you're going to catch teams out there like thinking, okay, Weejan's out here. It's going to be a screen. Next thing you know, you're hitting someone over the top or across the middle because they're anticipating that.
All right, a couple more things on this. On rookie camp, Mike, we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get on to quarterbacks because that seems to be the hot topic right now in town. We do have a lot to say. Actually, have a lot to say about quarterbacks. All of them, as a matter of fact. Let's get through this right here, Mike. All right, let's talk about Drew Allar, Mike. He looked good. A lot of positive about him over the weekend from rookie camp. But at the end of the day, he's still a project, and that's what people are forgetting. People already have this guy winning the Super Bowl. People already have this guy with the MVP trophy. At the end of the day, Mike, the guy still, as Will Howard, never has taken a NFL snap. Still a project. At the end of the day, this is my thought on it. I kind of wish that this competition would cool down, or this topic would cool down just a hair, at least until camp. Listen, you can't do anything or make any educated guesses on what we know and seen from these guys so far. All we have is college tape. And again, Tim Tebow wins 2 national championships and is the college football player of the year. So again, until they actually get out there and play on the NFL gridiron, there's no way of it's just a bunch of debate. And right now it's between a bunch of people who like Penn State and a bunch of people who like Ohio State, which makes it even more annoying. But that's just my opinion. I just think that this kind of needs to simmer down just a hair, at least until we can make educational assumptions and see what's going on, Mike. There literally is no way. There's nothing you could use. There's nothing to go off of that's going to say one of these guys are going to be better than the other until we see them take snaps in the preseason. And with OTAs right around the corner, it's certainly going to be happening. They're going to be getting their snaps. They're going to be getting their reps. Mike, this was also said right here. If I can just find it. Of course, okay, so Will Howard wasn't at camp, of course, but you can always go back and look at the voluntary minicamp, Mike. He was out there. This was the story. He's out there 45 minutes after practice every day. Everybody else leaves. So that was the big story then. He's going to get it. He was the guy that was getting 45 minutes. Every story between these guys right now seems magnified time a million. I wish it would just simmer down. Just let us get to camp. Please. Yeah. There's literally nothing people I shop in the group chat. I mean, he already has Will Howard getting cut. He already has listen, Will Howard Allar's not going to be your starting quarterback to start the season. Will Howard is not going to be cut. I don't care what anybody says. There's still so much to be talked about as far as this battle, this quarterback battle. I'm here for it. I like it. I think it's going to be good. I think it could be beneficial for the team and the players. But at the end of the day, people going at each other's necks on these two kids right now, neither one has ever taken a snap in the NFL. I just think is a little too much. Let's say, what should we talk about, Aaron? Well, maybe. I mean, come on, Aaron's kind of the bigger story at the end of the day. I don't like it either. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, Mike, there's not a lot of water that's held in this debate right now between Drew Allar and Will Howard. I just think it's kind of ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous, and we saw the way, some of the clips that they showed of Drew Allar, they're breaking him down to the beginning again and rebuilding him back up. He's not ready to go out there week one, even with, all the offseason training camp. You can tell he has a long way to go. Don't forget, Aaron Rodgers was 21st overall pick in the draft. He sat for 3 years and he came out as a highly touted quarterback. They came out and they did the same
perfect position, though. I mean, come on. If he'd have been drafted by another team, it might not have worked out that perfect for him. Yeah. But okay, God, I'm sorry.
But like he had the same. McCarthy did the same thing to him. He was that high robot quarterback. We're all going to throw from up here, and they changed his release point. They changed his footwork. This was a guy who was, should have been a top 10 pick, and they did that to him. And Drew Allar, it was a 3rd round pick, and they're doing that to him. So for any rational fan to expect him to come out and start, no, like he's going to take time. And Will Howard's the more polished of the two right now. You look where they went to college. OSU, much more polished coaching staff, much more polished offense than what Penn State had in their time. So Will Howard, he has to step up right now. We'll see how it goes. May the best man win. Like you're saying, Chop, he in group chats all over Will Howard. Vanilla Thunder, another reason he cannot be here. He saw Drew Allar throwing that pigskin, and he's you have that 4-hour erection. You got to see medical attention. He's had like a 72 84-hour type of erection. That's why he cannot be here, because he is all in love with Drew Allar right now. So I think everyone needs their pump to brakes with these guys, because I don't think either of them are going to start this year.
And they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. They're not ready yet.
it's going to be annoying, the whole debate, because again, it's just going to be something that's going to continue to go on and on, and it doesn't really need to do that right now. At least, like I said, at least let the guys get out on the football field before you start. Yes, small debate, small talk is one thing, but again, Mike, this is already becoming a big story, and I just think that it's crazy. It's crazy, Mike. A couple of things I do know. A couple points I do want to make regarding this. I know you hate this term. I know you hate it, but I'm a firm believer that teams have to learn to win. They have to learn to win. And I think that these quarterbacks are the same way, Mike. Michael Jordan didn't win any playoff series in the 80s. He was drafted in 84. Why did he get so good? Because you learn to win. You become better with the situation around you. And I just think, Mike, that everybody has to learn to win if Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the guy, if he's not going to be back, next season. Not talking about this upcoming season, the following season, which looks like it's going to be the case. So at the end of the day, I just think that the Steelers, they just need to win. And it goes a long way because, again, there's a natural process in life. As you do something more, as you get more involved, you just become better at it. And I just always kind of put it like that. But my main question with these two quarterbacks is this. Learning to win is one. Two, and that's something they have to do with the team. But number two, I think the biggest thing about a quarterback, Mike, is what's between his ears. And if you have a quarterback out there that looks like they're in a deer in the headlights, like Mason Rudolph's been doing for about 10 years now, I think that's a red flag. How many guys do you see with that confused look on their face ever becoming one of the elite quarterbacks in the league? Never. Sometimes you got to look at the eyes. Listen, everything is psychological. You could do something and you could fail by the psychology of it. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, this is what I look for, Mike. I'm looking for a person that looks beyond the reads and then finds something that's going to make it happen if all of your reads aren't there. I'm looking for a guy who's going to make decisions to go down the field when there's an opportunity to go down the field, not just because a coach is saying, hey, we don't throw down the middle of the field. Let's do it now. I want a quarterback who knows how to play quarterback. The guy you have to know. And again, Mike, as we always say, there's about 5 guys on the planet. And there's a reason for that. Not many people possess all those skills into one, but it's psychological, in my opinion. Learning to win is a thing. And also, Mike, as I was saying, do they have the capacity up here to even be that guy? Again, that's something I look for. And this is something why I will say over and over and over, Mason will not be the quarterback of this team. He never was. He never will be because he still looks confused. I'm not saying that he is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when I watch him, I don't see the next franchise quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers or for anybody else for that matter. So, again, this will be something I'll be watching about with these two kids. Do they look like they have it behind the eyes, between the ears? Because at the end of the day, look at the great ones. They all have it there.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards, let's not throw either of them out there right now because if they have the physical tools and if they have the mental makeup but they're not ready for it, that can derail you. We've seen that a lot of quarterbacks come out that get thrust into the starting lineup when they're not 100% or not when they're not close to being ready to go. You see, the game just moves too fast for them sometimes, and they never get caught up to it because they're thinking about their mechanics, and then they're thinking about the reads. So that's why I kind of when some of these quarterbacks who need work, you work on them, then you bring them in. Whether it's a full year, 2 years, 8 games into the season, you bring them in because you're letting them work on the mechanics to where now it's becoming automatic. They're not thinking about that stuff of their game now. Now they can think about what they're doing out on the field. So, if Rodgers comes back, we don't have to rush these guys. Even if he doesn't come back, throw Mason out there for 8 games and see what happens. Then, if one of those two behind him, either Howard or Allar, if whoever's the more ready at that moment, go ahead and put them in there for the remaining 9 games and see what happens.
My thing is this. If you listen to anybody talk about these two quarterbacks that don't care about the Penn State or Ohio State thing, you're going to hear the most honest of opinions.
Yeah.
And it's always, there's going to be some sort of bias when you're talking. So again, I'm going to do the justice of letting this thing get to where we can at least intelligently have the conversation. Other than that, it's you're not really saying anything.
You're rooting for the college helmet at that point. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
I'm a Penn State guy. I watched Drew Allar play for 3 years, and like I said, like I wanted him to be drafted elsewhere because I don't want to go down this road with him again to where 1 minute he's wowing you for 3 quarters and then he's pitching you off in that last quarter, or he's pitching you off for three and a half quarters. In the last half of the game, he does something great to get you hyped up for the next week. Like he's a tough watch. He's a tough eval, and
I can talk about players that they're not natural at certain things. This guy, the tackle can't play because he's used to playing the other side. Why is nobody going over the fact that they're tearing Aller down to start over, basically, and build him back up? To me, I mean, come on, it falls along the same line. You're not going to, make this guy play the left tackle because. So to me, it's the same thing. I think things are a little further back than what people are making out to be, Mike. Again, people already have these guys in the Super Bowl, which is insane. But again, Mike, it's just how it is at this moment. We will get into it heavily as we can watch this play out. But until you can watch it play out, it's all, again, you're just talking. You're not really even saying anything. Yeah. So that is my take on that. But we go ahead.
I was going to say, like, we saw the footage of Will Howard in Drew Allar in minicamp. We have not really seen any footage of Will Howard in a Steeler uniform, like, and nothing under the Mike McCarthy regime. So we don't know what he's being worked on from then. Like, so, like, to anyone to say like this guy, that guy's better, right? Or going to be the greatest, or going to start. We got to get rid of this guy. It's very
too early.
Way too
early. It. Just stop it.
Like I think
it doesn't matter if this guy does anything. It doesn't matter if that guy did this amount of work.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter right now. It's 100% irrelevant right now.
Yeah, and we don't know what the training program and the timeline goal for these quarterbacks are that Mike McCarthy and his staff have set for them of where they want them to be at a certain point in the offseason, certain point during training camp, certain point during the season. We may be freaking out. They might be thinking, no, they're actually ahead of schedule of where we want them to be. So it's like what we see and what they see are going to be two different things. So when they're saying, oh, yeah, we're fine with it and we're all freaking out, like, let's not overreact on the coaches either.
Please, by all means, just stop it. Listen. There's a time for this conversation. It's just not now. I mean, yes, they're both new. It's fun to dive into that and give opinions. But at the end of the day, absolutely, Marky's been working. I mean, these guys aren't sitting around eating potato chips at the end of the day. I'm sure he's doing fine. But again, it's for us to make that call. I just can't. We could give a guess, and beyond that, we just cannot do it. I got to see these guys playing. I got to see them in camp. I got to see them in OTAs. I got to see them in preseason. This is going to be you have to get the whole picture to make the most educated of opinion. So that's just me, guys. But also, Mike, I do want to say a couple more things. We are going to get to Aaron here in just a second. Mike, Coach Mack. I'm going to start calling him Coach Mack. I haven't heard anybody call Coach McCarthy Coach Mack. But let's start it. Let's see if we can start a trend here on the show. Everybody call Coach McCarthy Coach Mack for a while. Let's see if it picks up. Because if they are, on we're watching Monday Night Football and they're talking about Coach Mack 5 months down the road, then we could all look back and be like, hey, remember when we started that shit? So let's talk about Big Mac. Yes, Big Mac is what I'm sorry, Steel Loyal. It's actually Big Mac on my list is what I meant to be saying. Big Mac. He's Big Mac from now on. I'm like, Big Mac, this is something about Big Mac. He says this: there will be no more Victory Mondays. No more Victory Mondays under Big Mac. Big Mac Mike, he is going to be doing his conferences on Mondays. They've been on Tuesdays for decades. Mike Tomlin was Tuesday press conferences for 20 years. Also, Bill Cowher, if I'm remembering correctly, he was also Tuesdays as well. Mike, Big Mac came out and says there's no more Victory Mondays. We're going to be at practice. We're going to be watching tape. We're going to be watching film. Everybody's going to be trying to figure out what the hell happened from the last game. Victory Mondays is a thing in the past under Big Mac, Mike. I, again, like this. I see it as a trait of things that people that succeed and win in football. They do the little things. They work hard. And this is something that I'm seeing so far. And I got to be honest, I can't say I dislike it, Mike. Victory Mondays are a thing of the past.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's been a staple since like the Cowher took over and then Tomlin carried over. So it's going to be a shock.
Absolutely.
To everyone involved. And, it's probably needed at this point. But like, 30 some odd years of Victory Monday, it's time for a little shakeup.
Also, Mike, Coach Big Mac. Big Mac says this. He would love to carry 4 quarterbacks. I think you mentioned that the last time we talked.
Yep.
So again, all these conversations about these, the quarterbacks and the rookie and the second year, it's all useless at this point, Mike. He wants to keep 4 quarterbacks, whether he does, whether he doesn't. We know it's a possibility. And again, everything that we know about the Steelers team and the decisions made up until this point, Mike, it's all out the window. We have to relearn our team. And I like that. Listen, again, after 20 years, I like it. And, after so many years, I'm going to like it again. So at the end of the day, Mike, no more Victory Mondays. Big Mac he would love to carry 4 quarterbacks. And then also, this isn't even to kick dust up, but something comments were made, Mike, about Coach saying that he's within the system. They're saying that he's extremely hands-on, where the difference between him and Coach T was more of a CEO type. He's more walking around, getting the guys fired up, giving everybody 5 that's doing their stretching prior to the game, when Coach McCarthy seems to be in there with people working on things, which I'm not saying one's bad, one's terrible, but this seems to be the common story right now that you're getting out of Pittsburgh, certainly after rookie camp just concluded over the weekend. So again, I like these things, not because I don't like the guy that was here, but in the past, you could see things, Mike, on how they are going to work. You could read the room, you could read the writing on the wall. These little things that we're hearing out of camp from this week, I think are all positive, not just for the players, but for the team overall. Very excited, Mike. I'm hard pressed to think that the Tater is going to be happy this year, Mike. I mean, yes, the Browns are improved. Don't get me wrong. They certainly made the improvements in the draft to help that offense. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are still going to be surprised at this Pittsburgh Steelers team, as they are every year. We were supposed to finish in last place last year, again, being the team from the AFC to get into the playoffs. So,
it's. I think this is the energy the team needed now. We saw it just with the Penguins last season, to where you brought in a coach who with not newer ideas, but just a different way of doing things,
right?
And a lot of the same talent, and then you saw the results. The players took a step forward. Now the Steelers are doing the same thing, a different approach, and hopefully it carries forward to those players take a huge step forward. You just sometimes you need that fresh voice, even if it's an older voice, but it's a fresh voice that we haven't heard here, in 18 years. So boom, it's another positive happening here and something to be excited about. See how it goes.
I'm going to say welcome back to Christine. Christine says she just mowed the lawn. Welcome back. Nothing, because I waited for you. I'm not going to do our last segment until I know that you're here today, because this was a segment that you created. So just hang with us, Christine. We're going to get into baby faces before you know it. That is coming up here on the show. Let's get to some more stuff, Mike. We did get through everything that I want to talk about as far as camp, as far as rookie camp, as far as the a little bit about Coach Big Mac, Mike. But this is the stuff that everybody's talking about as of late. Whether you're disgusted by it, whether you're bored of it, this is where I'm at, Mike. I'm 100% bored with Aaron. I'm 100%. I don't care what his fucking answers are. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care if he's retreating, if he's ayahuascaing, if he's doing. To be honest with you, I don't care. The only thing I care about is my football team. I still think he's going to be here, but still, I think a lot of the hype, everything that's coming along with this is just annoying. It's getting boring, in my opinion, Mike. But it is the story right now. Let's get into some talk about Aaron Rodgers. We talked on Friday that he was on his way, Mike. He was going to be on a train to Pittsburgh to get everything figured out. But we have some actions, some reactions, and then ultimately the answer I have for you as well. So let me get into it, Mike. This is what was said by Jerry Dulac. I believe this was on Sunday. I'm going to kind of walk you through what I have here. Jerry Dulac says this, Mike. This was on Sunday. Jerry Dulac says Aaron Rodgers has been in town for a couple of days, but the Steelers have not met with him yet, and instead have been talking to his agent. Rodgers has stayed away from the team's facility in the South Side while the 3-day rookie mini camp has been taking place. So that's one thing. Okay, we expected him. He's coming to town. He's on a train. He's on a plane. He's on an automobile. Whatever he's coming on, he's coming. Sunday, we hear that he has been seen. He's here. He's in town. This is by way of Jerry Dulac. Also, Mike, this was also something I seen over the weekend. Aaron Rodgers, close to a 1-year deal worth $20 million, possibly 26.5 in incentives. And this was also by Schefter. Schefter was saying, Mike, he was here over the weekend. So another name that a lot of people rely on. But this is what this is the answer. You ready for the answer, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another thing. Also, it was Con. Con says there's been positive communication for the past 4 months with Aaron. Mike, this is the answer. As he should, his agent's doing the work for him. Whether he came, whether he didn't come. Again, I don't understand all the lying all of a sudden with the Pittsburgh teams. I mean, there's of course times that you don't want to give all your information. You don't want to show all your cards, but the secretness of the Steelers over the past 5, 6, 7 years it's just annoying. Why is everything got to be a secret with you? Listen, Baltimore don't. You think Baltimore gives two shits if Aaron Rodgers shows up today or tomorrow? No. I hate this secret shit with the Steelers. I hope they get back to being transparent. Mike, again, Aaron Rodgers is letting his agent take care of his work.
Yeah.
The work that he does, whether Aaron was here, whether he wasn't here, there's things saying that he was. There's things saying that he never made the trek up here. But at the end of the day, his agent is working on things. And if some of these rumors are true, which I tend to lean toward they could be, talking about this money a little bit, making more than he did last year, but still not making huge money, right around 20 million. A lot of people are predicting that. Again, positive talks, positive communication for the past 4 months. Let his agent do the talking. But on the other hand, at the end of the day, if Aaron's being fucking weird, and he's like, well, I don't want to. That's what's annoying me about it, and I don't want to think that it's Aaron, but it could very well be Aaron. Mike, people told us that he was a bit of this, a bit of that coming here. We had to convince ourselves that he wasn't, and he ended up being okay. But at the end of the day, Mike, I'm getting bored with Aaron. I wish something would happen, or I wish the Steelers or the Pittsburgh media would be a little bit more transparent so people knew what was going on. But at the end of the day, all the rumors you heard, he's coming to town, Kabuli, it's imminent, he's going to be signing, everything that you heard last week, Mike, none of it, as far as we know, was true. None of it was reported. So at the end of the day, more secrets, more beating around the bush with the Steelers. I hope this is an Aaron Rodgers thing, and it kind of comes and goes with Aaron Rodgers. But, Mike, I would love to see this team getting back to at least being a little bit more transparent, because at the end of the day, we are the people that come and put money into your seats, in your stands, and pay the players ultimately. What's it hurt to give the fans some information?
So all we know for 100% fact is that the Steelers have been in communication with Aaron's agent. They did not know. They said, we have no idea where he is. And then you have the local stooge media going, Aaron Rodgers is in town. Aaron Rodgers is in town. Contract imminent. Contract imminent. Where was Aaron Rodgers in this day and age where there's cameras everywhere, where we got Zapruder film of Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel hugging and kissing all over the internet? We can't find Aaron Rodgers walking through Pittsburgh anywhere at any golf course. We had pictures last year of him driving a rental car through Pittsburgh. This time, nothing.
Mike, you can see it. We have cameras that you can see an alien picking his nose on Jupiter, but you can't pinpoint Aaron Rodgers. This is what I'm saying.
This tells me that the local media station that broke this story was hoodwinked and bamboozled, or just straight out lying for engagement, for views, for listens, because there has been zero confirmed sightings. You people can say, oh, well, we saw him. Where is the proof? Everyone has a phone on them. Everyone has a camera on them. If you see an Aaron Rodgers and you're a reporter, click. Guys, here, tweet it out. Here's Aaron Rodgers. I saw him. I saw him. Oh, Frank from down at the mill saw him. No. So for me, it's screaming at like he was nowhere to be found. The local stooge media is bored. They have nothing to talk about. They're concocting stories out of thin air.
They listen. You can't entertain somebody if they don't have a top story, and that's why that's always been my beef with them.
So then it becomes. Then they spin the narrative. Well, why is Omar Khan lying? Because he hasn't fucking seen him. He's talking to his agent. Oh, really? Now, well, why? Here at the home of the fan, why should we believe them? Because this is what we're reporting with zero facts and zero evidence. They're the bad guys, not us. It's just you need to create a story. So they create a story. Then someone else from that same place repeats it. Then someone else repeats it. Then it gets reported elsewhere. Then they react to it. It's just a constant content loop. And then the Steelers are like, no, we just been talking to his agent. Then everyone has to then everyone attacks the Steelers like they're the bad guy in the situation when no, we're just talking to the agent. It's comical, man. Like they're that down bad to get clicks, views, listens. They have to because there is no proof that he was in town. There's been no pictures anywhere in this day and age where there's pictures everywhere. We can't see Aaron Rodgers in town.
And you know what people do also, Mike? They read articles, they read stories, they read newspapers, they read things in the offseason about their team because they want to know. But here we are. We're keeping secrets. And I don't like that. But again, let's move on. A lot of things I still get into, Mike. This was some things about Aaron Rodgers. The internal reaction to what's going on with Aaron Rodgers within the Pittsburgh facility, Mike, is, quote, Aaron being Aaron. So this got to tell me that a lot of people, because people aren't freaking out, and that's the one thing, because it would be a bigger story if he wasn't, and I think you would see it in people in the way they react, because obviously they overreact. So Mike, at the end of the day, Aaron being Aaron, that's the way they're looking at it. So that kind of tells me that this thing is happening. It's in the works here. Maybe we're not too far off with a lot of the things that we're talking about, but at the end of the day, Mike, it certainly seems that he will be here. Which is probably the best case scenario for the Steelers this year. But at the end of the day, the internal reaction to Aaron Rodgers in this whole situation is Aaron being Aaron. And that's one thing that I'm not going to miss. I'm going to be honest.
Me too. It's just,
it's just getting old.
Yeah. But, whatever. It is what it is.
You don't even have a roster together yet, and you're keeping. I'm just saying it's kind of stupid. Let's finally, Mike, the last thing here. Finally, I don't know who made the statement, but I'm sure everybody's seen it. Somebody from Green Bay made this statement talking about Aaron Rodgers and also Coach Big Mac making the reuniting in Pittsburgh, possibly. Mike, this was said by that particular player. Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy will be at each other's throats constantly. Aaron Rodgers is a guy that holds grudges. Mike, does it become a problem if Aaron Rodgers is in fact the quarterback this year, or do you think that these two gentlemen are going to work together well and do what they need to be doing to win football games? Does this become more of a extra baggage kind of story that we don't need with the Steelers this year, or do you think that everything will play out all right if, in fact, they both end out here in the Berg?
You don't know, because that report came out, but then there's also reports of they've mended fences years ago. They're okay with each other. But
if you hold grudges, that don't always mean anything.
Yeah, yeah. We won't know until it actually plays out. You don't know. And I'm willing to play it out to see what happens. You would hope that these two are mature enough and adult enough to go, all right, let's go out there and go win some fucking football games and have one last hurrah together and go on a run to show the NFL what we're all about. You would hope that they would put ego aside for a shared common goal, but we'll find out.
See, here's the thing: the world's not supposed to run around him and around Aaron. At the end of the day, again, ultimately, I can't wait till this whole experiment's over. But we do need him. I acknowledge that we need him this year, and if that's the way that it goes, that's the way it goes. Mike, let's get back on the board. I want to get through some messages, and we do have some fun things coming up here as the show does go on. Do stick around. Again, I don't want to get too far behind. I know that I did get behind, and I apologize about this. Let's go right here. Lindsay says, especially everyone knows JPJ is getting paid, so I don't know what's the debate. Ty says Lindsay is the GOAT. Lindsay, she is the GOAT. Let's go here to right here. Steel Loyal Pittsburgh runs on Dunker. Also, Tortilla says, yes, sir. Lindsay, yes, it does. Tortilla says Mark is on a generational run right now. Let's see what Mark says. Mark Malone. I think water has been testing clean out of the Three Rivers for a while now. I missed Tortilla where he says, who would have known naming a river after Ohio would turn into shit? What a great point, Tortilla. This might be game ball material. Steel Loyal says 29 fire. Lindsay, I don't know honestly, but I know I'm not eating anything from it. Yeah, we have the Ohio River right here where we're at, and I certainly, as a kid, we swam in it, but I certainly wouldn't do that anymore. Let's go right here to Somber. Yeah, I like that response. He interviews well. Smart kid, of course. Going back to the positive talk about everything going on at Steeler camp right now. Let's follow that up by Mark Malone. He says PFAs are the only real concern. Let's see. It's going to keep scooting along. Tyrone Tater would go surfing on the waves with his couch. Tortilla, I don't even trust the water in my water bottle, let alone doo-doo river. Mark Malone, bottled water usually tests as bad as most tap water. Lindsay says, yeah, we called Pittsburgh loving him. Yes, we did, of course, about Dunker. That is 100% true. I thought that was certainly a no-brainer, right? Let's go here to Steel Loyal. I got well water at my house from a spring, he's saying. Go right here to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says Dunker will have a Yinzer fisherman folly. He certainly will.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Probably fishing and hunting and NASCAR and everything else. Let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says this, or I'm sorry, Tyrone says this. Lindsay, make sure you cook Dunker mac and cheese and ribs. I still have to find out what this mac and cheese and ribs is all about. Inside joke on the board. Lindsay says I'll cook him whatever he looks like he's eats corn, potatoes, and steak. He sure does. Maybe
he eats raccoon too.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe roadkill perhaps as well. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. He says I'm working on my handlebar mustache as we speak. Let's go right here. Tortilla says Dunker is going to take over the river and someone is going to get a picture of him on the front of the boat like George Washington. I like it. I like it. Robert, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Robert in the house on the terrible board. Robert says, well, water at my place is 886 feet deep. It's better than any municipal water I've ever had. Yeah, you probably got nice water out there, man. Steel Loyal says, well, water. Mark Malone, Noah Kowski will see the field more than me. Well, I did. Tater says, throw him in. Miles will eat Dunker for breakfast. Just like he did to Dylan Cook, I'm guessing.
All right.
Let's go to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says motion from 12 to 21 and vice versa will be McCarthy thing with him. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Dunker won't even be guarding Myles Garrett. Tater, you fucking numpty. You know, calling Tater a numpty actually gets put up there on the game board as game ball board as well. Let's go to Tortilla, bro. Dylan Cook got Myles locked up, right? Tyrone says Troy going to handle Myles Garrett. Let's go right here to Ty. No, Sommer says Myles couldn't even beat Darnell, a tight end. Let's go back to Tyrone. Facts, Darnell Washington beats why he definitely needs paid. Tortilla, tackle by day, tight end by night. Somber says cut Howard, brain dead. Absolutely. What a stupid thing. It hasn't even started yet. That's my point. People are already talking about one of these guys getting cut. The saga hasn't even started. It has day one hasn't even came for this competition yet. Please let it simmer. Steel Loyal says it's a Penn State versus Ohio State debate. I know it is, and that's what's annoying. Let's go here. Tyrone Mason's the odd man out. Tortilla, Freemason. Tortilla also says this. Wait, no, not that. I mean Fire Mason. Tortilla says, fuck it. Tortilla says, okay, we did get that. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe Ryan. Get back to my earlier question about Howard and Allar, please. I forget, Joe. If I listen, I apologize. I don't recall what it was. If you want to throw it back up now, I swear to you, I'll get it now. Somber says Mason is welcome to be free. Fly away, Mason Bird. Fly away. I do apologize, Yinzer Joe. Let me go to Ty. Ty says Mason sucks. Tyrone followed it up by saying Lindsay's a better quarterback than Mason. Trash ass. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Rudolph will be a Browns quarterback next year. You know what? He might be. They seem to be collecting them. Like, it's unbelievable what's going on with the quarterbacks out there. But you know what? This does not. It's never changed. It's always been a quarterback disaster.
Yeah. They have like what 7 on the roster?
Yeah, and there,
It feels like it's insane.
Let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says, "Hell yes, I am." Tortilla. Lindsay would have hit Garrett back. Lindsay says, "I would have hit Garrett with 4 helmets every time I saw him." Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Steelers stuck on Mason like they're stuck on Rodgers. LOL. What is with them? Somber says, take his knees out. Ty says, facts. She would have grabbed that helmet, cracked his dumb ass. Mark Malone says, Beck has that look. He has a look. Beck certainly has a look. I'm not gonna argue that at all. Tyrone says, Mark, are we okay? We got Allar instead of Beck. Tortilla, Beck is looking at you right now. He is always looking at you between the eyes. Steel Loyal says, let's go here to Vegas. A face a mother can't even love. Vegas, all the way from Las Vegas, says this. Also, Steel Loyal says Beck is looking at everything right now. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says he's got the vision of a fly. He sees all. Somber says, oh, hell no. Let's go. Did I still have all hell no? Mike's playing funny computer games again. I'm not sure what's going on right there, but I'm going to attempt to get my board to come back and find where I was. All right, let's go. Lindsay says, no, please don't put Mason out there. Somber, Mason better not touch the grass, I think he's saying. Oh, yep, there he goes. Touch the grass. Tyrone, please, no Mason. Anyone else? Anyone, please.
Vegas, give me Mason, baby. Give me death.
Vegas has put Mason in if Aaron, Will, and Drew get hurt. But again, we could also put Dunker. He said he's willing to play anywhere. I'd put Dunker in before Mason, perhaps. Tortilla, if we throw Mason out there, Mason is going to throw us out the stadium. Lindsay says, literally. Let's go here to somewhere. Right here. Lindsay says, throw his ass in the river. That's about it. Tortilla says, make Mason eat the fish. Mark Malone, Howard has been working. You know that. Also, Somber says this. He says, we won't get to see anything until they have a pass rush. And absolutely, in preseason. Even then, it's defensive schemes. But you're right. It's going to be vanilla. But at any rate, I want to see the guys out there playing, you know. And it's probably going to be against guys that are on teams second and third and fourth strings that aren't going to be on a team. But anyway, it's a step in the right direction. But beyond, again, never taking a snap, either one of these two. Will Howard got no snaps last year in preseason because of the injury early on. Still loyal Big Mac. That's right. Let's do that. Let's change McCarthy's name, guys. He could be Big Mac. He's big. He's a Mac. He could be Big Mac. Let's see if that sticks. I think that could be a lot of fun. Return of the Mac, Tortilla says. Return of the Mac. No. McCarthy Monday. Tortilla's saying also. Steel Loyal says lots of mics. Lindsay says McCarthy, it will still be Victory Monday for us. Absolutely. Somber says, I'm just going to call him Mike because I called Tomlin. There you go. Let's go to Tyrone. He says McCarthy develops rookies too. He seems to be doing a good job. And again, fortunately for us, Mike, we've had a Hall of Fame quarterback for many years, and that never had to be the case. But from what I'm seeing so far from Coach Big Mac, Mike, it seems like that's kind of his thing, and that's a good thing because that's kind of what we need right now is somebody to groom these quarterbacks and get them to where we can see what they got.
Yeah, like someone who has a really good history of grooming quarterbacks. He didn't teach, but he worked with Joe Montana. So not a bad place to start and pick someone's brain from to pass that knowledge down onto a shit ton of other quarterbacks. Absolutely. And he's had success everywhere he's gone.
Vegas, hands-on like Diddy. There you go, baby. Hands-on like Diddy.
Maybe not like that much hands-on.
Lindsay says Browns still suck. Absolutely. We did get Christine there. Let's go to Christine. I'm totally here now. Yay. Absolutely. Awesome. Glad to see you back. Somber says, glad you got the lawnmower working. LOL. Christine, I think we all have off-season whiplash. You know what? It's a case of that for sure. Let's go here. Christine, I did Somber. It worked so good. Now I'm sitting here naked on my back porch because I'm so damn hot. What football? What Steelers? Let's talk.
Ryan's distracted.
All I'm gonna say is, I mean, come on, we're all throwing pictures up today. So let me go on though. I'm gonna try to move forward. Tortilla says, look out for taters. Tyrone, Christine, Ryan, 100%. Lindsay, nowhere. Still loyal. Where's Waldo? That's basically what this has been. It's basically been like, where's Waldo with Aaron Rodgers? Tortilla Rodgers was in a submarine in the Ohio River. They do have a really cool submarine up at the Science Center. Maybe he's there. Lindsay says, almost said that still. Scoot up here, guys. Ty says Lindsay was lurking. She got exclusive pictures. He was at the stadium with number 7 on the way. Steel Loyal said he uses the underground tunnels, of course, talking about Aaron Rodgers now. Christine says this, I just got ESPN notification that Omar was on the Debo and Joe show today. Apparently, does anybody know? From what I know, Christine, nothing of any relevance was said. I asked at the top of the show, didn't seem like any. I missed it. I was going to check it out this morning. However, I wasn't able to, but there hasn't been anything as far as headlines or anything that's popped up, or nobody's brought any information. So it does seem like there was not anything of great revelation during that interview, but he was on Debo and Joe this morning. Tyrone says, I sent it in the GC. Christine, let's go to Somber. He rented every Chevy Malibu in town, so nobody would know which one was him. Let's go right here. Tortilla moving like the Secret Service. Lindsay says, secret bridges straight from his house to the stadium. You gave him the tour. Tyrone says, let's go to Christine, like Gene Hackman had Lindsay. Let's go here. Mark Malone, A-Rod will be here June 2nd. Guys, of course, the 18th, we do have OTAs coming up next month. So we will see, or next week, I'm sorry. So we will see what's going on with Aaron, hopefully before then, Mike, or June 2nd. Who knows?
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I mean, because it's stupid, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we can argue this, that, it's Aaron can do whatever he wants, blah, blah, blah. But it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Who wants to deal with this shit? No wonder. And these are probably the things that everyone was telling us about with Aaron. And it's just stupid at this point. Boring. It's getting boring. Let's go to Lindsay. Let's hold his grudge. Let him hold a grudge. Grow the fuck up. That's what I'm talking about, Lindsay. Come on. Everybody got to worry about what Aaron's doing. Again, he's not a Steeler. He's a Packer. I don't give two shits about what Aaron's doing. I want him to show up, play some games this year, and help us do a couple of things. Beyond that, I'm kind of beyond Aaron. Sommer says, I don't think Rooney would have hired McCarthy if he thought they still had beef. Rooney the second clearly wanted Aaron back. Tortilla Rodgers will sign on Juneteenth. Sommer says, in my opinion. Mark Malone, I don't care if they I don't care if they do go at it. Tyrone says Junie said he will sign in June. Tortilla, the Nuggets give her wisdom. Give him wisdom. Revised. Tyrone says the Nuggets get Steelers inside. Lindsay says get AIDS from swimming in that dirty water. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Christine says Ravens collecting quarterbacks is also. They do have a little thing going on over there. What a weird division quarterback wise. You go what the Browns got going on, what the Ravens got, what the Steelers got. Steel Loyal says Rico Dowdle played quarterback before. I'll give him snaps before Mason. JPJ QB1 Ty. That would be GOAT like for sure. Tortilla Ryan gets the game ball, and finally Junie, my dog, and he loves Nuggets. You know what? I love Nuggets too.
Who doesn't love Nuggets?
Guys, where are we? I guess we're rounding third here on the show. Throw up your thoughts, guys. A little over 2 days, the NFL schedule will be released. 8:00 on Thursday. That's Eastern Standard Time. The NFL and the Pittsburgh Steelers will reveal their schedule. My question earlier in the show was this. Who do you think the Steelers are going to open up against? Is it going to be a division team? Is it going to be an NFC team? Is it going to be who knows? But my two guesses, Mike, I have two guesses because I have two hunches. I don't know which one I'm going to stick with, but I could see them going Houston at Pittsburgh because we play Houston at Pittsburgh this year. I could see us getting them because, again, it's the game that the Steelers last played in. Aaron Rodgers is back. He's getting a chance to play the Houston Texans after the playoff loss last year. He gets knocked out, blah, 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 blah. You know how they're all about the storylines anymore in the NFL. I could see Houston coming to Pittsburgh for week 1, or I could see the Atlanta Falcons, Mike, who are also coming to Pittsburgh this season. I could see that being the first game, as we've been doing early NFC games the past few years, going all the way back to San Fran 3 or 4 years ago in the first game of the year, Mike. Atlanta early, also in that time period. So again, the Atlanta Falcons at home or the Houston Texans at home are my 2 predictions on who the first game the Steelers are going to be playing this year, Mike. Let me give you a little bit of pick your brain a little bit. What is your thoughts? Again, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Don't be afraid to answer anybody. Throw your guesses up on the board. If you have one, who do you believe the Steelers are going to kick off the season against, Mike, to start the year? We don't know if it's going to be on the road. We don't know if it's going to be at home yet. But one thing we do know is it's either going to be against the AFC North, or sorry, the AFC South, the NFC South, the other first place finishing teams from last year, or the Philadelphia Eagles. That is all the options. Mike, what's your guess? You want to throw something out there?
Maybe the Jags opening up at home.
That was my initial thought. That was
because the Buccos are out of town. So it lines up perfectly for the NFL to go, Pittsburgh, you're going to have a home opener. I think we should, because we have 9 games on the road this year. Let us open up at home, and have it, what, they were a division winner? Or no, they were not.
Wait, who? I wasn't listening.
The Jags.
No, Houston won that division.
Yeah, so everyone's going to wait for the Pittsburgh-Houston matchup. Do that later in the year. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville at home.
No, no, they didn't. We won the division, so Houston would have been the non-division winner. So Jacksonville did win the division.
Yeah, so okay, then 2 division winners, have them come up here and play us. We always have to go down there and open up on the road against them. Always play them down there in those hot months. Have them come up here. I'd like to have them up here in the cold, but let us have a home opener against Jacksonville. That'd be a good matchup for us, and for them too, man. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, week 1 in Pittsburgh. Let's do it.
Let me grab a couple of messages here. Let's go to Mark Malone. I thought you were talking about the Junies, Tyrone. Jamal says, I'm still mad about the PlayStation. Laugh my ass off. Christine says, I don't even know, but I think it could be Houston at home. It's a good possibility. It could be, that game that you hate to have in the first game of the year, because you want to kind of get a feel for what your team has, and then you play a really good team, and a lot of times that equals a loss. Mike, I just think that could benefit Houston more than it benefits us. But again, I think that's totally an option. Tyrone says, me too. Me too. He learned his lesson. Jamal, I bet. Lindsay says, I hope it's the Bengals. I hope the Bengals. So we play first. Tyrone said, I told him that I'll send him to you for the weekend. Also, Ty says, I hope we get a home game. I do too. I'm kind of hoping for a home game. Mark Malone is saying the Saints at home. Tyrone says, right, deserve a home opener. Let's go here to Lindsay. We were away last year, right? We should be home. And you know what? That doesn't always, yes, but that doesn't always equal that. I mean, I wish it would. But remember, there was like 3 or 4 years in a row we were on road games to start the year. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we get that home game much to kick off the season anymore, Mike.
It feels like it's been a long ass time. It should be every other year. You're opening at home or on the road. You shouldn't have to go years without opening at home. Some bullshit.
Tyrone, Mark, we go to the Saints, and then at least it's a dome, is what he's saying to Mark Malone. Mike, so you said Jacksonville is your prediction, right? Okay.
Yeah.
One other thing I do want to talk about, just briefly, Mike. I don't even have anything to talk about, but this guy, we do have somebody on our rookie camp, somebody that was at rookie camp, Mike, from Penn State, that you might recognize. He was 6'6", like 330 pounds. He's the punter. Mike, the punter for Penn State, which again, it's probably a non-story, but at the end of the day, a punter being 6'6", 330 pounds.
Yeah.
Can't we teach him to do something else?
Oh, he was the kickoff. I think also the kickoff specialist as well, so he can do that. But yeah, 6'6", whatever the fuck he is. Learn to get down into a 4-point stance and go hit
Grow
the guy
some
with
balls
who's
and be
running
a
the
football player already. Come
Yeah,
on.
do something, you big baby.
You don't want to make the maximum is $7 million a year. Come on, go out and
Yeah.
get a real position. You can make real money in
Right?
this league.
He's probably kind of smart. Like, I'm big like this. I ain't gonna hurt my knees that much. I get to swing a golf club on the sideline with all these other dudes and just chillax. That's forward thinking. That was smart right there on his part. But yeah, man, like, we're gonna turn you into a football player. We're gonna turn you into a tight end because we need more tight ends.
Yeah.
We don't have enough.
I wonder if he could play quarterback
Maybe.
or stop the run. That could help.
One of the two, man. We'll put him in on D line. You put him next to YA.
Perhaps a little offensive line work wouldn't hurt the guy.
Exactly. He looks like he should be standing next to YA Black and Harmon and just chilling.
I know. I went Harmon on one side and YA Black on the other side of him, and I went that punter right in the middle. That's
right
where
in the
I
middle.
went. Mike, he could also be a tackle also with that size. So
yeah, he could be. Like, I don't know. I saw a move. My man does not look like he's an athlete at all. Just the limited thing I saw, he looked real stiff in the hips.
You know what? I used to, and listen, I have nothing against people of anything, but I used to have a fat friend growing up, and that's all he did really well was punted the ball. Like, he didn't run well when we played.
Yeah.
He didn't catch the ball well, but boy, could he punt a football a mile. I don't know what that is, man. But
yeah.
I do want to say right now, what's up to Aaron Jade in the house? Always great seeing him, Mike. Here we go, Steelers with the Rockets. Always great seeing you, Aaron, my man. Hope things are going good for you. Let's go to it's BS Vanilla is what Lindsay says. Jamal says, laugh my ass off. Heck yeah. Put his big ass on the defensive line. We need help. Aaron Jade, everybody. Aaron Jade's in the house. All right, let's do this, guys. As we are rounding third here, we do have a few things that we want to do before we wrap up the show. We do have some pictures. I think Mike is getting prepared. Somber sent in some pictures last week. Of course, people were talking about beards and possibly shaving beards. Mike, of course, mine is a playoff beard. Yeah. I am not going to shave it. That's the plan until a Pittsburgh team advances past the first round in the playoffs. Like, no Pittsburgh team. I'm talking about the Steelers. I'm talking about the Penguins, and of course, the Pirates have not advanced out of the first round since 2017, if you can believe that, Mike. And that was where I was going. But what we talked about the other day, we talked about beards a little bit here on the show. Somber are very somber from the terrible board. He also sent some pictures in. Mike, I have a picture of Somber with no beard and with a beard. So what we'll do is we'll do Somber first, go beard, and then go non-beard, and then we'll take my turn, Mike. And then I also have some pictures from the show. Everything is from the show where I had no beard. Yeah. So we're just gonna, again, it's fun. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today, as the show is just getting to that point. Let me grab a couple more here. Jamal says this. I'm not sure, but did YA take a step back late in this? You know, he hit a brick wall was the term that he used. I think he's going to be okay. Again, going from the 12 games to 18. You know, that's 17 plus the playoff game. That's a jump. That's a quarter, a third, basically of the season's. A third of the three. What am I trying to say? A third of the season. A third of the season that he never played prior to that. So I think the YA is going to be okay. You got to remember, Casey Hampton was on the PUP list every year, and he ended up being okay. So he came to practice out of shape every year. Still was one of the best. Tyrone says, he didn't play as much. And then gang, Aaron Jade. All right, guys, it's time to get into it. This is Somber, our very own Somber from the terrible board. We all love Somber here. And Somber he was a good enough sport to send us some pictures with himself with a beard. There you go. Good looking guy, right? Somber.
Look at that beard.
Look at him, huh?
That beard, that's a man's beard right there.
That is a man's beard. Look at that. And I like the way, look at it. He's shaved underneath there. Mike, now let's put up the picture of Somber without the beard. I believe this was in the Navy when he served in the military. Mike, Somber, there it is. Looks like a whole different guy.
I know, right? You wouldn't even notice that strapping young lad right there would have that big bushy beard.
Still looks good. I'm not going to say.
Like a lot of people, you see them without the beard, you're like, what's going on right there? Somber is one of those lucky few guys where if he would shave his beard, people wouldn't even say, yeah, you need to grow that back immediately. Whereas I shave, they're like, you got to grow that thing back.
He looks good. Let me see what grab people said. Tortilla, somber, Hayward, somber. Bah, tortilla. Whoa. But there you go. But Somber's a great sport. Thank you. Thank you for sending
Yep.
He sent a handful of pictures in. As a matter of fact, you can see them all on Discord. Go over to our Discord. Mike will throw that link up in just a moment. You can go sign up and join the Discord, and also all those pictures, amongst a lot of other things. Communicate with everybody from the show, other viewers like yourselves, and it's a lot of fun. Michael put that link up. Do join the Discord, and again, all that kind of fun stuff's over there 24 hours a day. Christine says, Somber, you're a cutie patootie. Cutie patootie. So there you go. Let's go to, I guess it's the time for the ugly. This was the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was going to call it, Mike. This is ugly. Still loyal though. He says we do have the best looking fan base. You had not seen my pictures yet, so hold your reserve your judgment there, Mike. Let's go with the yellow shirt first. Here is a picture of me in action, guys, at the studio doing a show. There it is. Oh, look at that! Look at that thing. Short hair, no beard. All right, now go to the TikTok picture.
This is my favorite one.
And right here, this is what we've all been waiting for. There you go. looks like I'm being bent over a chair right here.
You look like you're being violated.
I look like I'm being violated. Right there, there's a picture from still loyal with all the laughs. Right there's a picture from over on TikTok. Actually, you can go enjoy our TikTok site. No beard, no long hair. Like throw the next one up of me in the studio talking as well. I believe I had a black collared shirt on. This number three. There you go. Not a great picture.
I like the little wisp of hair flooping up there.
You like it? There you go. And finally, Mike, the long vertical picture from the very first episode, actually.
Yes.
Right here, guys. There is yours truly. Short hair, no beard, with my Pittsburgh Mauler shirt on. Like, this was from the very first episode 1.
Yeah, I believe that's prime Sydney. That's Antoine's elbow right there.
That is Antoine's elbow near my left arm.
But look at that hair. You had some bangs.
And what did I have in the last one? The wisp. So I had the
wisp.
I had the wisp.
Wispin' Bangs. That's going to be our 80s cover band name. Wispin' Bangs.
Wispin' Bangs. And there you go, guys. I promised you and I made it happen. Thank you, Mike, for your help on that. And thank you, Somber, as well. So I do have eyes. This is just kind of my shtick for now. This is where we're at in the game. Let's go back and catch up on some of these messages, Mike, and then we're going to get to the website, okay? Let's go here. A lot of laughter. Somber says, holy shit, who's that guy? Somber says, this is what we've all been waiting for. Let's go here. Jamal says, is that Seth Rogen? I'll take that. I will take that. Mark Malone said, did you get that prostate exam? I did not. But believe me, I'll keep you up to date every step of the way.
This right here is from his last prostate exam.
Yeah, that was actually me right there in the doctor's office, getting my prostate exam as we speak. Let's do a scoot along here. Let's go to Tortilla Bro, looking at us like we did something. Dude, always great seeing Dude on the terrible board. He says this. Dude says, afternoon, fellas. Afternoon, Dude. I hope you had a great weekend, my friend. Still loyal. I stand behind it. Best looking fan base. I couldn't agree less, but you know what? We'll go with that. Just kidding. Somber says, holy shit, Ryan has eyes. Christine, you look hot with or without the beard. I appreciate that, Christine. Also, let's go to Christine Ryan. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Let's also go here to Jamal. So much ammo, shaking my head. Somber says that pick is diabolical. Mark Malone says, that's what I said. Tortilla, I can't shave my beard. I'm going bald. Tortilla says, and Jamal, join the club at Tortilla. Mike, why don't you join the club and tell everybody about the website? As he disappears. How'd you like that trick? I like to say I had that planned. I don't know what's going on. Mike kind of froze and disappeared. So what I'm going to do, Tortilla says he's scared. I don't know what happened to Mike. And it was crazy. It went down just as I turned to him, just as I called on him. Go check out the website, everybody. A lot of things going on over there. Mike and the guys do a lot of work. Chop and RB, of course, put a lot of stuff over on the website. It's a brand new website, guys. It had a facelift. Truly did. It doesn't look anything like it did at least a month ago. Mike put a lot of work into the website. Go check out the website at www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool stuff over there. I will put. Mike was supposed to put the link up, and he was going to, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. We'll get the link up as soon as we can. Also, do go check out the website, everybody. Lots of cool stuff over there. www.the2dumyinzers.com. All right, let's get into the trivia question of the day. Again, I don't know where Mike is, so we're going to continue to move forward. We were talking about who might be the Steelers' first game they play this year. The schedule comes out Thursday. This Thursday, of course, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. People are chomping at the bit. We waited so long, and I got to be honest, guys. I'm excited. I'm as excited as I could be. In just 2 days, we will know the Steelers' schedule, and then Monday we got OTAs. Things are moving right along. But guys, put your thinking caps on. It's time to get into the trivia question of the day. Here we go. Put your thinking caps on. Here we go. The NFL schedules come out this week. With that being said, who was the first team the Steelers ever played against? We're all wondering who's going to play the Steelers are going to have in the first game of the year this year. We're waiting for that schedule. But the question of the day, who was the first team the Steelers ever played against? Steel-matic, I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. He's saying the Browns. That's not a bad pick, guys. Throw your guesses up. Maybe you might know it. Maybe you don't. If maybe you're just going to take a shot at it. Again, the question of the day. We're all chomping at the bit to find out who the Steelers will be playing first. But the question is this: who did the Steelers play first ever as a franchise back in 1933? Steel-matic saying the Browns on the board. The Giants, Christine is saying on the board, Giants, the Browns are some good ones. Of course, it's got to be an old franchise. As Steel Loyal is saying, it's not going to be the Houston Texans. It's not going to be the Baltimore Ravens. Tortilla is saying the Giants. Dude is saying Philly. Steel Loyal is saying the Giants makes sense. Again, it makes more sense than trying to figure out what the hell happened to Mike. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to assume that he sees and hears what's going on, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't know. Jamal saying the Eagles. Lindsay says, I think the Eagles too. Somber says, I don't know. Shrug. The Eagles maybe. Again, question of the day. We're all waiting to see who the Steelers open up their season against. But the question is this: who did they open up their franchise against? Who was the very first game ever scheduled for the Pittsburgh Steelers? A lot of different answers on the board. I'm seeing Giants. I'm seeing Philly. I'm seeing the Browns. So do throw it up there. We'll leave it up, the question out here just for another minute or two as we do wait on some answers there. Let's while we are waiting, let's say this: we're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day, right here on the tube.
On tube.
All right, so there's Mike. Mike, I have to get back at you here.
I apologize.
The question of the day is this: everybody is waiting, Mike. The schedule comes out this week. Everybody's waiting to see who the Steelers play first. The question of the day is this: who was the first team the Steelers ever played against? Mike, yes. Who was the very first team ever scheduled to play the Steelers? I have different answers on the board. I have Redskins here. I have Browns. I have Philly. I have the Giants. All older teams, of course, Mike. You know that it's not going to be the Houston Texans. You know it's not going to be the Ravens. Mike, a bunch of different answers on the board here. Vanilla with the jump scare vanilla, right?
I'm gonna go with
who was the first team the Steelers ever played?
So we came around in 1934. I'm gonna go with Canton.
Canton? Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
All right, let me find out. Get you locked in. You were locked into place. So I'm going to grab a few of these messages, Mike, and then we're going to get to the answer in just a second. Everybody, do throw your guesses up there if you do think that you know it, or even if you don't think you know it, throw a guess up here. Let me get a few of these going. Steel Loyal, got to be an old franchise. Also, Christine says they were actually the Pirates at that time. Yes, they were. So that might be wrong. She says, dude says Pittsburgh Pirates or the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 1933 very first game, I believe it was the Pirates at the time. That's what we're looking for. Christine says, oh my God, wait, it was the Dodgers. Tyrone says, Lindsay, hush and get to cooking. Oh, let's go here. Lindsay says, Tyrone, don't tell me I belong in the kitchen. I'm right there with you, Lindsay. Let's go. Brooklyn 100% is what Christine is saying. Again, guys, nobody can wait. We can't wait 2 days to the schedule. It's coming. I'm telling you, we can't wait to find out who the Steelers play first. But the question of the day, who was the first team ever the Steelers were scheduled against? The first team in franchise history that the Steelers played. Guys, a lot of different answers on the board. Tortilla, damn Tyrone. What you want, Taco Bell? Lindsay cooked better than that. Guys, question of the day. The answer is this. It was by way of a 23-2 loss. That's right, Mike. In the very first game ever, the Steelers scored 2 points. 2 points. A safety was their first score ever as a team, Mike, and it was a 23-2 loss to the New York Giants.
Ooh.
Who they came back in the second game of their existence and beat the Cardinals the following week.
Oh, nice.
So just some information there, guys. The Giants was the very first team the Steelers played. They lose 23-2. In the second game they've ever played, they did manage to beat the Cardinals. So there you go, Mike. A whole new story for a whole new the next page, if you will, comes out Thursday night. These will be trivia questions 100 years from now. People are going to be asking about this particular schedule. I do want to say to Christine, there is the Discord right there. You can click on the Discord on the Terrible board. Very, very simple to go in and join. All kind of people in there from the show, from the board. It's a lot of fun. It is right there. Tortilla says this, Mike Tyrone, don't make me agree with Mark Malone. Lindsay says, yeah, trade JPJ. Mark. Ty says, agree with our RB cousin by all means. Let's go here. How fitting. You're not when you're hungry, Mike. That's all about you. Christine says, this is the Pirates. It was the Giants, but as the Steelers was Brooklyn. I love the knowledge there. Tortilla says, damn Tyrone. What you do, Taco Bell? Okay, we did get that as well. And finally, Christine says, my dad made me a Steeler, play Steeler trivia. Sorry, games all the time, and I remember that one. LOL, that's awesome. That is great. So, Mike, thoughts on today's show? Aaron Rodgers, Mike, the big Coach Big Mac.
Coach Big Mac, I like my hands-on approach. Liking to see that.
Rookie
a lot
camp,
different. Yeah,
all kind of things.
Rookie camp. Drew Allar. A lot of people have been having erections that have not gone down since they saw him working on footwork drills, or they're ready to claim him a bust because they saw him working on footwork drills. It's either all or nothing in today's environment. I just hope we have a resolution to the Ayahuasca Express. I'm tired of tracking that thing like Santa's sleigh. Aaron Rodgers laying that bird in here. Let's get this contract done. Like we said, man, let these two young quarterbacks learn and develop before we start, spouting off who's better than who. We haven't seen any of these guys play live action football. It's still loyal Allar or nothing. Just let these guys figure it the fuck out. Let them develop, man.
The Giants, Jamal, was the answer. The Giants beat the Steelers 23-2 in that game. Yeah, I mean, a lot going on, of course. A lot of stuff we're going to be getting into. And again, I love the passion of Steeler fans because, you know what, while sometimes when people argue about things like this, it sounds stupid because you don't have a lot to go on. But on the other hand, I always love the love and the passion of the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, of Steeler Nation, and all the Yinzers, Mike. Again, it just makes me feel proud and appreciative of being a Steeler fan. So at the end of the day, yes, it annoys me sometimes, but at the end of the day, I get it as well. I see both sides of it. I understand. I sympathize with both sides. I'm just getting tired of hearing because, again, there's really not much to go off of at this point with the quarterbacks. It's going to get a lot better. It's going to get a lot spicier and a lot juicier as we get into the summertime. So that's just where I'm at the end of the day. But again, I do love people that love their Steelers no matter what their level of knowledge is. So it's all welcome here. This is why we do what we do. And the show is driven by, your very comments, Steeler Nation. Every single one of you is what drives this show, and we love it. We love you guys, and we wouldn't do it any other way, and we don't do it any other way. Let's grab a few messages here, Mike, because this is kind of just where we're at in the show. What's the answer, Jamal? It was, in fact, the Giants. Lindsay says, matter of fact, let's just franchise tag JPJ, make him wait. Tyrone says Taco Bell. He says this, the GOAT just door dashed me 5 taco fries, cheese Baja Blast. That is awesome, my man. I think I could do this for you. There you go. Tyrone says, oh yeah, Lindsay. Ty says, you sure you want to go down this route? Jamal says, appreciate that, Steel Loyal. Let's scoot up here to Tortilla. He says, that's like saying you just signed 5 MVSs. Lindsay says, what you gonna say? Trade TJ, join the club? Nope. Love TJ's what Ty is saying. You just mean Ty is saying. I know, Lindsay. So I'm about to go listen to this Debo and Omar pod after this, see what's said, because I don't see anything on. And that was with the thing too. I kind of kept my eyes open if I seen anything, and so did Mike, and it just didn't really seem like it yielded anything amazing. But I will be checking that out as well. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again. We hope to see everybody then. A few more things before we do the with all the sports going on, it's impossible. It's impossible not to crack open the Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. Duquesne Pilsner, the guys over there do a lot for us, and we couldn't thank them enough. So we do ask you to maybe swing by, grab yourself a 6-pack or a 12-pack, because they're both available now at the Eagle and also wherever case they're sold. Maybe you're not a drinker. That's okay. Go over to their social media. Follow the Duquesne Pilsner page, guys. It'll all help. I'm sure they appreciate it. We always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap in the studio for every event that may come down the road. Mike, made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
If you haven't had a chance, also go check out our social media, Mike. We are on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing over, hit the follow button. Keep up with what the 2 Dum Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. And if you had not yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, the sub, the share, leave a comment. Any of it helps in the algorithm, guys. We couldn't appreciate it more. Thank you. I'm going to grab a couple more here on the board. Right here. Lindsay, yeah, let us know. Somber says, appreciate the show, gents. Take care, everybody. You as well, my friend. Always great you and see you, and thank you for the pictures as well. Into the fun. Okay, here we go. Pop me out for whatever reason. Tyrone, it was okay. None much. Little A-Rod talk because Boz extended. They asked JPJ. He said in the works. Can't talk too much about it. In history, Omar, been there since 01. Lindsay said, you always keep us informed. Somber, always thankful for what he does as well. Again, thank you for submitting your pictures also as well, Somber. Let's go, Somber. We don't miss much. Somber between loyal Tyrone and I. LOL. You definitely don't. We love all you guys. Definitely is Lindsay. All right, guys, I do want to say this. Mike, any thoughts before we do take off?
No, good show. Hopefully my computer does not turn itself off again. That's what happened to me.
I mean, it's on a record pace today. What's going on? It's on a record pace.
It shut down on me before the show, during the show. I got to check, make sure it's plugged in all the way. That was some scary shit, man. I thought I killed the show.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Lindsay, 100. Christine, okay, she thinks she joined the Discord. We'll double check on that. Again, guys, I want to say this. I want to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I do want to say thank you to everybody on the terrible board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. And as I said, you do drive the show. We couldn't do it without you. It is just the basic nature of this show, guys, and we couldn't appreciate you more. We couldn't thank you enough, guys, on the board as well as on the board. I'm sorry, a little tongue twisted today, and as well as everybody at home listening, maybe watching in the gym, maybe in the car, maybe at work, whatever the case may be. Thank you too. Again, the Steelers in the NFL schedules will be released Thursday night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be certainly keeping an eye on that and getting ready for that tomorrow as we already hit midweek, Mike. Also, OTAs Monday. Will we hear from Aaron? Will we know what's going on with our starting quarterback? So much going on in this offseason under new coaches, everything else. So there's never a day there's not something to talk about our Pittsburgh Steelers. And I got to be honest with you guys. I love it. Every year isn't like this. This is, again, very, very busy offseason. And I like that. Michael, anything else my friend?
No, man, I think we got it all. You covered it all right there at the end, wrapping up, man. I can't wait for training camp. Like seeing the rookies at minicamp, it was a nice little appetizer, but I'm ready for the main course.
Me too.
I just can't wait.
Somber. Okay, so you said Christine got in.
Yep,
Awesome.
she's in. I see her.
Welcome
Yep.
to Christine. Thank you. No problem. Thank you, Tyrone. Peace out. Girl Scout. My man, also Somber. Live long Steelers. Pirates at it today. My game 1 of a 3-game set against Colorado at home today. That's a 6:40 start. That's going to be about it as far as our sports in the Berg, but we'll be back tomorrow again at our regular time to get into that and so much more about the Steelers as we are just blowing through this offseason. We'll be kicking that ball off to start that first game, no matter who it's against, before you know it. So almost there, guys. We're getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. I do believe that is everything. Just take a quick look down. Yeah, that's going to be everything for today, guys. I want to say thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. We hope to see everybody then. I'm going to swing around to you, Mike. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Anything?
I got nothing else over here vibing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for Finch, for Derpy, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.